Right, Angus, you know what to do. Clap us in. Welcome to the Whisky Stories Podcast.
It's a repeated version of the
Yes.
What? Holy!
It's like they poured maple syrup in this glass, and I just really choked up. I just remember sitting there thinking, I'm alive, and I'm drinking this whiskey, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just,
Brilliant.
it was amazing.
I walked in, sat down, and he took one look at me and said, "Are you the famous Angus?"
That's a fucking belting accent. Head of accent.
Welcome along to the Whisky Stories Podcast with myself, Graeme. We are back in the Athletic Arms, back in Diggers, back where we belong, underneath the toilets, sandwiched nicely between the gents and the bar. And we've got drams in front of us.
A few wee drums.
It's fucking Tuesday, boys.
Aye, bloody hell.
But we're celebrating the return of Ross Barr. He's
Thank you
made
very
it
much.
back. He's
back
made
to the
it,
country, made it safe.
Yes.
made it back from the USA, off seeing our cousins across the pond. How was it, Ross?
Well, it was strange for our US ambassador to make it over here as I was over there, but you know, diplomatic ties are really important.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to make sure that we're all getting on. I had a great week doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Pretty much told my colleagues that I was dead to the world. Do not contact me.
Yeah.
They managed to contact me a few times throughout the kind of week or so off, but it was just nice to get in the middle of nowhere and just relax. Drank a lot of bourbon.
A lot of bourbon. Good.
I brought one bottle of Scotch over.
Uh-huh.
I brought a bottle of Bowmore 16 finished in port.
Did you pick that up at the duty free?
Duty free.
A nice
Brilliant.
litre.
Was that
No, it was a 70 CL.
Oh, right.
But it was good. The place where I was staying, as I've described some places as the place where happiness go to die before. That's something I often give Campbelltown. Alpena, Michigan. It's the place where I got married. And it's famous for having...
So you got married to the place that happiness goes to die?
Yeah. I actually got married the only place that my wife didn't want to get married.
There we go.
Because
aye.
all of her family are alive and all my family are not alive. It was much easier just to go over there.
Yeah.
Um,
But is your happiness still alive?
Oh, never been more alive. But so I brought this bottle of Bowmore because I thought, okay, Michigan's really tough state laws
Yeah.
as well. But there's a cement factory up there. It used to be the world's biggest cement factory.
Right.
And so that's the only industry. Everybody up there just cement guys.
Big
And a
in
couple
cement.
of them had been over
You
to
must have felt like home, cement factory outside Dunbar.
Dunbar.
Really?
Oh, preempted the story.
You're
like a
fucking
pro.
good, Angus. I'm gonna
Oh,
give you
you
that.
are a ruiner, eh?
Head of research. I didn't even
Head
tell
of
him that.
research, there you are.
If you want your cement facts, look no
Aye.
further on the Whisky Stories podcast.
That's it, exactly.
So it's
Real-
quite interesting.
some real
Is that how,
hard
like,
cement
tough
facts.
it was for chat that it was like, oh, we'd been at your neck of the wood, the cement factory.
No, the guys were like, 2 or 3 of them had been to Scotland. I was like, oh, what are you doing there? They're like, cement.
Cementing. Cementing
We're
the
big in the
relations.
cement game.
Yeah,
But so they loved the Bowmore, left it there, and they just drank loads and loads of bourbon. Elijah Craig was on, and then something called Long Branch from Wild Turkey, which I really enjoyed. $40 bottle max. It was very, very. It was just lovely.
I heard,
It was really good.
I heard all your father-in-law's pals from the cement factory were calling you a bit of a brick. But anyway,
Anyway, and actually, I've got one thing
You
to
hear
pull
the
up.
pin drop there, Graeme.
I've got one
tough
thing to
crowd
pull,
tonight.
I've got one thing to pull up from a previous podcast that I had some messages from listeners.
Okay.
And you had Gregor and Alistair on from Rassie. Fantastic podcast, by the way, gentlemen. And very casually, Chuck, Angus, and Gregor all go, oh, well, capital of East Lothian, Haddington.
Yeah.
Is it? Fuck. Why?
Well, it is. But
Well,
I mean,
what-
factually, yes, it is.
It's,
Where are you from
it's-
again?
Well, East Linton. Which
Have
I-
you got
which
an
I
East
wouldn't
Linton
claim.
house whiskey?
Ross,
No, that's
is,
true.
Ross is from a provincial East,
Aye.
East Lothian.
Anyway,
town.
look.
But if you were going to
Town.
go to East Lothian, you've got to go to one of the places with a train station at least.
Well,
That's
that's
true.
fair.
That's true.
Haddington
Absolutely
has the last bits of its train station, just no trains go there anymore.
Okay, so you have a train
It's
station
got-
that
it's
isn't
got a
open.
railway
Just so
hotel.
important, we didn't even need it anymore.
Okay.
I'm not saying.
That was,
Haddington-
that was from Fraser Sooner. Fraser Sooner said that he just about
right.
chucked his phone across the room.
Well, it's called Google, and fucking Google it.
So we're taking that for... No, that's fine. We'll cut this bit out. Anyway, but... You know, you had to go over to the USA to go and spend some time, but we had to have you over there because we had brought our American brand ambassador over to our brand home for a little bit of update on training. Ladies and
We've
gentlemen,
got a bit of a swap deal.
yeah, we got Scott Moore in the house. Woo! Yeah! USA! USA! USA!
What a greeting.
From,
Wow.
from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, say,
right.
can
Yeah, there
you
we go.
see?
Head of singing here.
Aye, but
We should have just made him keep going there. That would have been good.
Scott, that's Tuesday. You arrived here last Monday.
Last Sunday.
Last
actually. Got Sunday night. Sunday morning. I got to Edinburgh. Took a bus to
Where?
Glasgow. Then went to the Pot Still.
Where did
for a couple of days.
Where did you fly into?
To Edinburgh because it's too expensive to
Oh,
fly
he
to
did
Glasgow.
get his
Right?
Corrected himself there. I thought it's Edinburgh.
What did I say?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
No,
How long you been here, mate? You've been here over a
Is that
week.
right?
Ross is
Edinburgh. You got it right.
Edinburgh.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, bus to Glasgow or Glasgow for
Glasgow.
my American
Glasgow.
friends.
Yeah.
And then a couple hours to kill. Went to the Pot Still. Met Frank. He was kind enough to pour me a dram of the Ardbeg Bolsa that I saw him walking out with, and it was fantastic. It's the lightly peated Ardbeg, which I had never been able to find back home. I love Ardbeg, so it was fantastic. And then went the 4-hour bus to Campbelltown. But then next day I did a Dunnage warehouse tasting at Glen Scotia. It was amazing. And what did you say just now about Campbelltown? You said where
Place where happiness goes to die.
I tell you
Not
what,
for
man,
you.
It was so great.
Aye.
And the people who live there seem not to be
Place where
unhappy.
stars go to grow.
Yeah. Well,
That's it.
But then I did this Eat, Sleep, Dram, Repeat at Springbank.
Nice.
And my God, I mean, for me, there were 6 people who we stayed in the guest house, and then we had all access tours and tastings and all kinds of stuff. They fed us amazing food. But just to be around whiskey geeks, and be able to talk about whiskey to the wee hours and not see people's eyes glaze over as they do back home.
Did you tell me
It's
you
just
had
wonderful.
a Stillman on your tour?
Yeah, and then also some of the visitors center head from Glenallachie.
Wow.
So they like,
You had like an operator from the Glenfiddich Distillery on your tour.
yeah.
That's cheating. That's so cheating.
you know
cool
what?
distilleries.
But you know what? It just made it because there was also a couple from Durham in Northern England. They had been there several times. They know everybody in town. I'm convinced she's going to be mayor of the town there someday. She's just amazing. And another guy from London, but he's also been several times. So there was no
That's amazing.
there was none of that whole whiskey is made from barley yeast.
Yeah.
Straight into the hard
it was
stuff.
just
Straight
Common
into it.
interest. Let's talk about why we love this.
fermentation times and all that stuff. It was just absolute.
Did you get to turn the malt at all there? Were you give it a wee go at that?
Well, no, we got to walk across. Actually, we were going to, but they couldn't find the.
Malt shovel.
No, not the shovel, but the thing that you rake it with.
I can tell
Oh,
because
did you get-
your arms both look the same size.
Yeah, the
Did
monkey
you get
shoulder.
Did,
right?
you, did you get some money back on your tour if you didn't get to turn them out? Because that's the fantastic thing. Is that the same trip that people pay to work at the distillery?
No, that's
right.
that's a whiskey school, and that's a lot more money. And
it?
you
Aye.
have to pay them to work at the distillery. And I'd rather
And
watch.
there's a waiting list for like 2 years
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
I'd rather watch people,
Make it-
work while I'm drinking.
Yeah,
the whiskey,
exactly. But also, Scott, you've been here now, so that it's a Tuesday. We took you out for our. First of all, we met you on last Thursday.
Yeah.
And
here,
we had a dram in here, and then we took you out on the Friday, which we'll talk about. And then we were back up early and took you out on the Saturday. And the fact that you're not so fed up of Angus and I at this moment that you've decided to come back for the podcast.
I'm sick of Graham.
Like I say,
Well,
we don't speak. We
I
don't
don't have-
speak
No,
when
no.
the camera. As soon as the mics are off, we don't speak.
No,
at all.
on Saturday night, Graham said, "I hope I do not see you any earlier than Tuesday evening." I said, mutual, Graham.
And he said, "Please don't ever pick 3 days in a row again."
It's looked,
That's how you make the relationship last.
Yeah,
though,
that's-
it's looked amazing online doing an Edinburgh pub crawl with Graeme and Angus. Any highlights? Obviously the Diggers as well. This should be your first time in Diggers as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, this trip, absolutely. So Diggers it's amazing.
If
it's,
you had this in the US, it would be.
Well, it's that. It's our brand home.
Non-stop.
It's our American brand ambassador. We've brought him to the brand home. We've given him some training. So he's going to go back over. He's going to go back over to America.
and just go around and say this place sucks.
Just
It's getting expensive and your pores are small.
He's going to go back
I
and
mean,
say,
that's-
you guys need to try the Glenelgan 13 Spirit drink because you've never tried anything on display right now on our fancy.
Highest ABV of any spirit drink on record.
Well, some might say,
Some might say,
but well, it's sitting nicely on our board, our dram board.
Yeah,
that was
this
made
is a
and
very
gifted to us. I was picked up at by Johnny of Higgy Hoose, who
Dunbar local.
yeah, who commented on the episode on Spotify saying that I've pocketed it for myself. It was a gift to the podcast. I had forgotten to bring it. Don't worry, it's sitting here very, very nicely. Only problem is,
doing a very fine job.
I'd say it's lovely, but next year we'll need a bigger one.
and the thing is, you can. I'll say credit to him.
Not to be ungrateful.
No, of
It is
course.
such a
Just
cool
need
thing
to wait
us
for the
have.
tree to grow a few years.
That's it. Yeah.
And I think he's worth giving a shout out. Go to Higgy Hoose.
Higgy Hoose, HYG.
GIE.
Yeah, Hoose. Find him on Instagram. We'll put a post up to show it.
And it's all custom, so you say
That's
what you
brilliant.
want, how many drams you want, obviously space for a bottle and all that.
Yeah,
He's
bottle,
put the
5
logo
grams
in
round there as well. It's fantastic. So we'll take a picture of this and you'll see it on our socials because it is great. But yeah, Chuck, how are you?
I'm alright. Yeah.
How's the new job?
It's great.
There's something you can't really say no to, is it?
Almost
Busy.
sounded convincing,
Yeah,
Chuck.
it's really busy just now.
What's your
I'm
new
not-
role?
I'm not at the best of days. I woke up this morning and it turned out my. Really good to meet you, man.
Likewise.
You
So I woke
this
up this morning and it turned out my phone hadn't connected to my charger. So I woke
Oh,
up well
done.
rested,
Been
but
there before.
about 45 minutes late for work.
Oh.
And I was driving a colleague to work, so he'd been standing next to my car for the last half hour.
Oh, Chuck. That's
That's a
why we have you on the
classic
pod.
So it's his last day on Friday, and we got for a bottling from undisclosed people for 1,000 bottles to be labelled, bottled, and filled by ASAP.
1,000 bottles.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's your new role, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I'm now bottling guy and dilution man.
It's better than sample bitch.
I've been yeah.
Dilution
I'm
man.
glass king now. That's the new
King of glass.
From sample bitch to glass king.
I know.
Well, you know, it was funny because I did say this to Angus, right? We were it was maybe this time last week, and we were kind of scrambling. Not too much. We had the plan for Friday. The plan was always going to be we were going to do the pub crawl, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was also wondering, is there anything else that we could do? We had a few sort of things up our sleeve, and one of the options in my little booklet was like, just turn up to work for Chuck.
Turn up unannounced at the
Friday, it was a
Lowland
Friday
Bun.
because we had a Friday because Angus had to take the day off, so we were like,
I
what we
know
could do
they-
is we just jump on a train, get to Glenrothes, get a taxi, and just turn up at 10 o'clock and just be like, "Hi, Chuck, we're here to annoy you."
I thought this was a bad idea.
Well,
I should say, Chuck.
Well, it is. Fundamentally, it's a bad idea. But,
Graeme
I'm
thought it
trying-
was a great
I'm trying to
idea.
think of what I was doing on Friday other than crying. At the moment, we've got, so I can't obviously disclose who
Pretty
we're,
much anything you
who
do.
we're bottling, but we've got a bottling we're doing at the moment that is like my nightmare. Effectively, is probably what I dislike about whiskey a lot. Is
It's for a football club.
no.
It's not a bad guess, really.
Number two. No, it's a whiskey that goes in a box, that goes in another box, then has to get wrapped in paper, then that goes in another box, and then that gets shipped.
You just do glass, do you know?
Where's the king of cardboard?
Okay, no, that does sound like
fair.
a pain.
Yeah, so you would have come in and you just see me like measuring bits of paper. And be like, "Oh, have you got work for us?" I was like, "Can you fuck off?"
Glad to hear you're having a great time in
And
your
so,
new role.
lads, from your trip, give us a highlight each, maybe a dram or a bar or something.
Well,
'Cause if people haven't seen this, they can see it on Instagram as well.
Yeah, but no, it's
And
not on
then-
Instagram yet. But I mean, I would say that actually people, because this will go out on Thursday, and I've edited up. You might never see me here again because with my editing skills from that video, I think we're up for Oscars. Right, I'm off to Hollywood, guys. Okay, I'm over.
And so you've recorded your whole pub crawl.
Well, right. So what I started.
There's a law of diminishing returns here.
Yeah, so basically what I looked at today was I decided I hadn't even... It was actually giving me anxiety Sunday because the trip we were out all day, right? So we met at 10 a.m. outside Haymarket train station.
Yep.
And we finished the last recording. It says Scott gave us a time check and it was 9:45 p.m. up the stairs in Diggers in the Snug.
12 hours.
So we were on it was a 12-hour job. Obviously, please, pub crawl responsibly, whiskey sesh responsibly, whatever it was. But so we started with the best intentions of getting a load of content, Scott, and it's a great entrance. Like I say, I think that's Oscar worthy itself. The start of the
Just
thing.
so happened, by coincidence, we were filming when Scott just
Happened to walk by.
What are the chances? We were just sitting there filming, having a coffee,
having a blather.
but straight down to Leith. SMWS, Scotch Malt Whisky Society Vaults. First time ever been in Vaults.
Yes,
there.
that's
What do you
where
think
I've
about
been
that?
there.
It's just
Lovely.
it should be renovated.
Lovely
as well.
set.
Just
Lovely
really,
service.
really
The
beautiful.
home of the
building.
Malt Whisky
Yeah.
Society.
Yeah, that was it. Lovely. What
whole-
did you think, Scott?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
crazy. The bar looked like a big pipe organ, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and really cool to see that, because I mean, myself on the pod with Graeme, we've spoken to several people that have worked there that have described it to us. We've not actually been there to actually go there, put the kind of name to the face
And
of the bar.
Pip Hills, the founder,
Yeah.
bought that building for 50 grand.
Yeah, it's mental.
Incredible.
Wow.
It's
And
incredible.
it includes two. There's two. I think there's two apartments upstairs.
And it was great. And we had
We
four.
didn't have one dram and 3 straws.
We had 4 drams to kick us off down at
We did.
SMWS.
We started
And that's
strong.
strong stuff as well.
Aye.
Started strong.
Let me ask Scott, have you had much SMWS stuff out in Tennessee?
Yeah. I mean, I have friends who get the bottles and so forth, you know.
There's
Because
an embassy
obviously-
out there as well, isn't there?
There's-
Or not-
Sorry?
You've
Oh,
got an
what?
embassy.
Not
No.
in Memphis. There's one in Knoxville when I go see my daughter in D.C. And then, of course, D.C. has got... I've not yet been to Jack Rose, even though I go there all the time, so, to D.C. all the time. But
Very famous
It's
whiskey bar.
definitely on the list to do.
But there's a lot of US based members, and they'll get a different allocated stock,
Yeah.
or they'll
That's
still
right.
get some from the outturns, but there'll be US exclusives.
Yeah.
SMWS, which automatically as Scotsman we go,
I know.
I want to try them.
Well,
you know?
what was quite handy was like, so Josh, who is the manager, the venue manager down there, he sorted this out. I asked
Yeah,
him, I
very
said, look,
hospitable. Yeah.
we're needing some breakfast whiskies, and ironically, of the 4 bottles that he picked, the first one we picked, we wanted to go with it because it had a trumpet on it, and that was not set up. That was literally just we
Happy
just said
coincidence,
there's a
yeah.
trumpet because not all the bottles actually are labelled like that. It's just this was a new release style,
Yep.
which has come from one hogshead and split between 2 octaves or something like that. I think it was.
Yeah.
You honestly, I just can't imagine you saying stuff like that 2 years ago.
Guava. That's what we got on that one. It was guava.
For people who don't know, I'm a professional trumpet player.
Yes, Scott is yeah.
content.
Doesn't like
we
to,
did say
doesn't like to toot his own horn.
but we did say morning horn was also it was it was because
So what was the whiskey?
it was a 6.68,
Oh,
which is
six. That's a Macduff.
aye.
That's right.
I
Fuck
fucking
off.
hate myself.
He's memorized up to 8, though. So.
How have you managed that? You are no, shut up, Ross. That's the worst thing ever. We were pretending. We were sitting there, be like, this would be. We went through all the numbers.
Oh, we were kidding on.
Getting on and just guessing it, and you've just rattled it straight away.
I once I bought one bottle of SMWS 6 ever before, and went up the Pentlands with Cameron Ewan and Dario Orsili, both ex-guests of the podcast, and it was 64.3%. It was finished in Lafroig casks. I think it was 6 years old.
One of the best videos I've ever seen of Cam as well.
Yeah, so it took us 2 hours to get up. Took us 4.5 hours to get back down the hill.
There's a video of, is it you or is it Cam who's stuck in a gooseberry bush? It's
That's me.
Right,
That's
just-
me.
Please climb hills.
Please SMWS
Climb
responsibly.
hills
But so that was the first stop, right? We have to go through it
That
because
was
we
a
could.
close escape for Scottish Mountain Rescue, I think.
A guava tasting
It
Macduff.
was lovely, very nice, very fruiting. We had another 3 there. One was the mojo, which was
Oh,
Mezcal cask.
mezcal cask, which I couldn't get my head
So
around.
no peated malt, all the peat, all the smoke rather was coming from the mezcal cask, which was really weird.
What was the whiskey?
It
was blended malt.
Blended malt.
Oh.
Yeah, blended
Oh,
No
malt.
number
cool.
on it, yeah. So
And their blended malts are bloody good.
Well, it was nice.
It was
I just couldn't
nice.
get my head around
Good
it.
value.
Yeah.
it's different.
But they were very kind to actually give us we chased them free of charge, I should say. A nice wee bit of mezcal to
of
try because I'd
mezcal,
never had
just-
mezcal
yeah.
before. So
You'd never
That's
had
cool.
that was very nice of them.
To try your first experience of mezcal to be in S&WS vaults is fucking mental.
And for them to leave it off the bill was absolutely
Yeah.
lovely.
I'm obviously a bit of a connoisseur. I was explaining to Graeme, I like a smoky frozen margarita, which is
There you go.
Alright.
very pleasant. Yeah.
One of the things I think I learned from you guys over those 2 days was that if you walk into a place with a fancy little camera and lavalier mics or any kind of microphone, you can get pretty much anything you want.
Well,
we
this is
paid
what
our
we're-
way, Scott. We paid our way.
With
Yeah.
Graeme Kilgour's confidence, nothing is impossible.
Yeah, and he
Says me, I know.
Don't get sweeties.
Aye, Shy Bairn.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love
But
that
so the
stuff.
next stage was Port Leith. Distillery.
Yeah.
Cool.
Didn't
Had
do the
lunch
tour,
there.
just straight up the stairs, straight up the lift, I should say. We wouldn't take the stairs on that building. Straight up the lift, and we had a lovely bite to eat.
Graeme and I had a cocktail.
Yes, we did. And you had
a flight.
Flight,
Had a
yeah.
little flight.
I did see
Young
you-
whiskies.
Nice board it was on as well.
Yeah,
and the
very
food
nice.
was
Were you
fantastic.
having a table whiskey highball?
It wasn't table.
really?
It might have been table whiskey actually. It was a highball. It was very fruity, very nice. That was about 12:30 as well. Bear in
Loved
mind.
it, but what a beautiful view.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that on a
Great
day.
space.
Because last time
and the cocktail I had was their own new make spirit with various fruit juices.
the details are in the vlog.
The details
right?
are in the vlog.
The information that we need to give you is what happened in the second half of the vlog, where the details get a little bit fuzzier.
Okay, well let's
So-
skip.
So then it was off from there.
Mother Superior.
Mother Superior. We tried to go to Nauticus, but it was shut. Because it doesn't open
It
till
doesn't open
4.
till the afternoon.
So
Yeah.
we were like, oh well, it's too early for that. Mother Superior, brilliant. There's a
Very
clip.
nice, yeah.
So you had an Ardbeg homecoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And we
The
had.
this year's fish.
They're an
release,
Ardbeg
yeah.
embassy.
Yeah, they've got
Mother Superior, they're an Ardbeg embassy.
yeah,
Oh,
loads
no
and
kidding.
loads
Yeah,
of
they
stuff.
do have
yeah.
lots of art.
We had an Ardnamurchan Marsal.
Sauternes.
Sauternes cast. Lovely.
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 Really nice.
And then
Sounds
they had
Sounds good.
we had a 3-dram lineup of Blind Summit.
That's it. Yeah. So we had the Highland Park 7.
Glencadam.
Yeah, there was a Glencadam in
Kalila?
there.
Was
And a
there a
Kalila.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Kalila, yeah.
Brilliant. Again, that, but also in that bit, I'm trying to work out how I could do the edit, because I think the technical term for it is I'm currently scoring the movie, which means I'm adding the soundtracks in, right? But as I'm filming that, someone just walks in and everyone just starts singing "Happy Birthday, Happy Birthday," and we were like, "All right, okay." So that was that. Then we moved from there. We jumped back on the tram.
You
Up
got a Scotch?
to
No. Where did we go after that?
Scotch Whisky Experience.
Scotch Whisky Experience.
This was one of the highlights
Wow.
of the evening.
Yeah, you couldn't write it. I said, how funny would it be if we saw Ali Baxter walk straight in, there's Ali Baxter standing there, and we just scream, Ali Baxter's bedroom window! And
Caught
must
live
be-
on camera.
that must be an awkward
filmed
day at work
as we
for
went
him.
in.
Three guys coming
No.
in.
he was very quick to get us into the bar.
But everyone there, that's a big joke with them now.
Yeah.
too, you know,
But
so-
Ali Baxter, very, very kindly, he gave us a 50-year-old
50-year-old.
Invergordon
Aye,
Dangerous.
on
Good.
the house.
And we had a 3-dram lineup as well. We picked 3
We
drams
picked 3
that
drams.
Scott might have
Hey,
went.
Bob.
Deliberately 3 distilleries
Got a
that
full of it.
3 drams that Scott would not find in America. So I think there was a Bonington, there was
Muscat, Bonington Muscat,
yeah, Bonington Muscat, Cubockin, and there was
King Lassie.
King Lassie.
Was it the new Kubok in this
Yes.
Creation 7? What do you think of it?
Lovely.
Really, really
Absolutely
nice.
loved it.
Because you like pretending you like smoky
Well, I
whiskey
gave
as well.
Kubockin a bit of a hard time at the Tomatin Distillery.
I think we gave it a bit of a hard act to
You
follow.
talk about
when we
rhubarb
got
and
it.
custard.
yeah,
or
that's
something,
it.
isn't
Lovely. It was like raisins. I think you said it was like cinnamon.
It was. I got a bit.
I only
did
know.
get-
I'm sounding like I know because I kept everything together. I've been editing this all day today.
Yeah.
So.
I did get custard off it. I did get a bit of custard.
Then
Yeah, yeah.
into the this is where things. So basically, what we've done is we've kind of like we get in, we order our drams, we set the camera up, and we have a 2 or 3 5-minute chat about what we're dramming and how the day's going. That is until we leave the SWE, right? Scotch Whisky Experience. Then we're into Ensign Europe. Couldn't remember whether we did or not, but we didn't switch the camera. We did switch the camera on for walking in, and switch the camera on for the drams that we got. You went for an Irish whiskey.
Yeah, I went for a green spot just to be really, really
Yeah,
different.
shout out the current wife.
Yeah,
we-
absolutely.
We got
yeah.
a Cadden Heads. What was a Cadden Heads? It was 25-year-old Cadden Heads. Was it a it was a
It was 25
fancy
year
one.
can heads.
Again, we didn't talk about it in that
No.
because I can't remember too much. And we got a mystery malt.
Aye. I'm
What
trying to remember.
What
the
you got to say,
distillery.
Chuck? You got to say
I
something?
was going to say, who was working? Who served you?
I can't remember.
Couldn't
Okay.
tell you.
It was hazy. It's
They're,
not even.
they're bad in there because I used to go to Ensign a lot when I was living that side of town, and I'd always go in and be like, "I'm just here for one
Yeah.
and a half," and then I'm going, and then it was Andy and Andy would always be like, "Aye, aye," and I would leave with like not a penny to my name.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out how I was getting home. And then,
Aye. Well, it was busy. It was very
the
busy.
distillery of the can heads? Because it was an absolute cracking dram. It was
it a lead jig?
phenomenal.
25-year-old
I think
Cadness.
it was lead jig.
This is what you ordered, Scott.
I ordered it for him. We ordered it.
Yeah.
I said, right. I'm not going to say what the mystery malt is because I think it's bad etiquette to announce what a mystery malt is
yeah.
of a bar.
It
before
was a
it's-
Thompson Brothers mystery malt.
Thompson Brothers mystery malt.
Cool.
So after that, we had to hop foot it down to Maltree's Walk because we had a Tamdhu
Tamdhu
tasting.
tasting.
Wow, hosted by Alan Wardrope as well. It's
Yeah,
kinda-
the ginger boy was there looking after us. Shout out to David as well, who was
David
there,
Agnew, yeah.
and it was fantastic on the lineup there with the 12. What was the
It was a distinction.
Quercus Alba.
Quercus Alba distinction, exactly. 15, 18, 21.
What did you think of the Quacksalber American Oak Oloroso?
That was kind of the favorite of a
I
lot of
think it's
people. I
fucking
like
good.
it very much.
I liked
Was
it.
it for me?
A lot of people put their hand up. I have to admit, I preferred it. I liked it because he asked us after the 2 drams, the Quacksalber and the 12, and I have to. I'm not influenced by Graeme much, but clearly I was here. Graeme and I think, were the only two to put our hands up for the Tamdu 12. Everyone else went with the Quacksalber.
What's the story with the Quacksalber? What's the...
So it's
Good question.
American Oak Season of Oloroso Tamdu, but it's all American Oak.
Oh, okay.
So it's obviously Oloroso because they're always official bottlings are Oloroso, but it's got this vanilla. It's got this kind of light character. I want to say bottled about 48% as well. It's good.
Is
Yeah.
that
I-
big
I-
a rarity? American oak seasoning. I mean, from what I've seen, it seems to be quite a big mix these days.
Yes, it is a big mix for Tamdu now, but that's, as far as I'm aware, that's the only exclusively American oak release they've done in a long time. Obviously, it's still Oloroso, but it's
Yeah, no, but you're still getting different.
yeah.
flavor
So they call
markers.
it Tamdu Distinction Quacksalber.
Something about
American
I didn't dislike it.
But maybe was it Tamdu for you?
I don't know.
And at the end of the night, I mean, really nice to have the 21 again. 21's a really nice dram.
I love the 18.
I like, but I like the 15. I really like the 15. I came away thinking, you know what, my favourite, the dram I'd go back to 15.
What was your Scott?
And you should.
I mean, I like that distinction because it's
Yeah.
something I would never find. But I mean, back home, 15 is probably my favorite that I've had.
Yeah.
I mean, the 21 was a treat for sure.
And
But
21's a
and
great drum.
you said before we started recording, Scott. I mean, if you gave that to 100 North Americans that all were Macallan and Glenlivet fans,
they would no longer be Macallan or Glenlivet fans.
Yeah.
because
That's
Tamdu is
100%.
it's a belting dram.
Yeah.
I know I've gone about it a lot.
But
But then
the one thing
well,
is because the one thing that really sort of blew me away a wee bit was the smell. They got the smell of the 21 box. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So they've
I've seen
scented
you
this.
smelling
Yeah,
that
they've
box.
scented the
Strange
box.
smell.
It's like smoke. So because they point out in the Tamdu 21 that Tamdu does use peated malt.
3
But
ppm.
everyone always goes, ourselves included,
Yep.
always goes, shit, I didn't realise Tamdu did peated stuff. And I think that's a nod. If you smell the inside of the box, they've deliberately made it where it smells like
Interesting.
it was but not. I mean, the whiskey tastes better than the
Marketing
smell of the
department
box.
exists, I guess.
Well, it
That's-
does, but it was good.
But then after the
recording
tasting,
board.
you know,
Just going for the scratch and sniff, I guess.
yeah, exactly.
after the whiskey shot, we had to go to some kind of more down market
Yeah.
venues.
One of those places you have to wipe your feet on the
Some
way out.
a wee dive bar.
I mean, the thing is, there was smoke. See, we just thought we would check in on the place because we heard that the manager was away on holiday. And when we arrived, there was smoke coming out the bottom of the door. And the place was, I mean, it was mental. The staff had their shirts untucked. There was glassware lying everywhere on the table.
Guy wearing jeans under his kilt.
Listen, I don't have anxiety, so please don't try. And,
No, we went.
No,
he's went
Scotch
into
and a bar.
we got
And
a
we
cracking
were
welcome.
And
we
Scott,
were
what do you think? It was obviously very different to the rest of the bars that you'd visited. Scotch.
Scotch the
Oh
bar.
yeah, it was very different. I think if I hadn't been with these two, if I'd gone in by myself, American, then they probably, you guys there are so used to
They're a scunnered you.
you kind of probably have an assumption of how Americans are going to be walking in there. I would say, right?
I would say that
Ross
kind
has his own accent when Americans
I
walk
know.
in.
But
that kind of tailored experience is kind of the guys are so.
I mean, they're
knowledgeable.
great about that. I know it's a squeaky chair, and I can't
I'm
stop
looking
You're
at
looking.
good. You're good.
Okay,
Anyway, so aye.
So what did you think? It
but
was-
no, it's a great bar.
and you
you
had a
know,
hell
it's
of a
one-
dram.
I mean, we were very well looked after. Curtis was there, making sure we were
Good.
We walked in and Curtis says, "You're barred."
Well, he said your bar, and then he gave us loads of almonds and
A
chocolate.
dram
Yeah.
of Glenfarclas 30.
That-
What a belt.
from the Graeme Kilgour vault.
Yeah.
you know, with your little name on it and everything.
Aye, well, there's another Graeme Colgate. He's just never been
We're
in.
nicking his whiskey.
Had you had the 30-year-old before?
No.
what
And I
a
love
belt.
Glenfarclas. I think it's so underrated, I mean, it's like old leather chair kind of stuff. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's great.
There's a cracking drop. Probably overpriced for what I paid, but anyway.
Sherry tarts,
ripped
sherry
off by a
tarts
pal
too,
of mine,
right?
a good pal of
Anyway,
mine.
after that, there was only one place we could end the night. Back here, walked in just moments after Woody
What
and
time is this,
Megan.
by the way?
Well, it's 9:45.
Quarter to 10. Just moments after. Yeah,
That's a 12-hour shift,
Yeah,
lads.
that's what we're saying. Aye. We were, I mean, I'll be honest, right?
I was knackered.
I felt like
It felt-
we'd held it together really well
Yeah.
until I watched the last 2 minutes of us at Diggers, and we were pissed.
Yeah, but also we were in Diggers as you said about 9:30. It felt about 11:30. Because of just. But
we got here at the end of that tasting with Woody and Megan.
Jane Street.
Hats off! I have to shout out Moira, who diligently collected driver's trams, even though I wasn't driving, for me. So I can have the whole thing.
Moira from the Diggers.
Yeah, she also got me hooked up with the Jane Street launch party on Thursday night, right after I got here, and so I'm like, oh, that's great. And I drove over with Kevin, drove us over and dropped us off basically.
You met Kev?
Kevin Clare.
Kev, what a result! Kev's never driven me anywhere.
He picked me up.
He gave me a hoodie.
He drove Graeme home.
He gave me a hoodie right the minute I walked in the door. I mean, he's
you
very,
can
very
actually be an
hospitable.
ambassador for the podcast and the bar.
Yeah, brand home.
This bar is the best.
But
man.
I have to say,
I want buried here. I want buried in this room.
Well, look, we have to say as well, whilst we're listening to this.
This is not for us.
yeah.
Whilst
I've behaved in here before.
Whilst we're talking about this, we'll shout out Guten Tag to Jürgen and his lovely current wife.
We have to mention Jürgen just by, I think, pure coincidence.
Tell the story of you walking in.
He's I later found out he's not in the Facebook group. He doesn't really do Instagram. He hasn't got Facebook, so he doesn't really engage with us. But he has listened to us in his own words since day one.
Yeah.
So I walked in and he was chatting away to Tam behind the bar. Who was giving him cheek, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
I walked in, sat down, and he took one look at me and said, "Are you the famous Angus?"
That's a fucking belting accent. Head of accents. That's good.
I listened to your podcast. I've been listening to you since day one.
Yeah.
This is quite unreal. I'm starstruck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just...
No offense, Jürgen, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, my absolute pure question, I said, Jürgen, we're recording. He said, "Are you recording tonight?" I said, "We're recording tonight. The guys will be along in about 10 minutes. You'll meet everybody. Chuck will be here. Ross will be here. Graeme will be here. Scott,
the American ambassador.
Scott, the American ambassador's here.
Guy.
So what a guy!
Yeah. Thanks for listening and apologies.
Thanks
for being a
sorry
listener.
for
But he had the lower. He said,
but
you must be the famous man who built Glencadam.
No, he did. That was his first line. He said, "This is Ross who built Glencadam with his own hands."
He's like, "How old are you?"
Oh, brilliant!
So what an absolute gentleman.
So Jürgen
him and his wife been to Isla 8 times.
Well, more importantly, he messaged me on Instagram today around about 1 o'clock saying, "I'm sitting in the snug at Diggers." And so he's still here.
I know, and he said, "I've only heard of this bar from your podcast. This is the only reason I am here."
Brilliant.
I mean, super. And actually, Jürgen, so kind. He had a 25-year-old Thompson Brothers secret Isla. And he said, take this down and pour yourself a dram on
This
me.
is believed to be a 25-year-old Lafroig.
Supposedly,
to be a 25-year-old Lafroig. So let's all enjoy it. Yeah,
fantastic.
Thank you so much, Jürgen.
Jürgen, an absolute gentleman.
Really nice meeting you, and I hope you have a great
Dankeschön.
rest of your trip in Scotland as well.
Man.
But it's so soft after 25 years, right?
I'm going to stick a bit in there and you can just carry on
I had said to him, let me get you on Instagram. Message us next time you're in the city. I've already got him.
Right,
Great
guy.
What a gentleman.
Brilliant. And he got himself, he got the last dram of the Glenelgan 13,
Nice.
still available on the Woodrose of Edinburgh website.
Oh.
There's only limited bottles left. I think we've sold close to 45-50 of them, so we're nearly out.
Need to buy some more.
So get yourself on the website, get that for £65. You get your posted packaging, etc. But that was it. So we finished off.
I was just going to say, did I tell you about my label, my bottle of that I labelled at the event?
I watched that.
Oh, well, right. Well, two things we should say. Nicole Leslie, this is your bottle.
Yes,
Yeah.
Nicole, we have it, and we're not giving it back until you pay the ransom. We have your bottle.
As has been mentioned previously in this podcast, I've taken over labelling and glassware for my new position. I labelled mine at the event that we had, and I
Busman's holiday for you.
I was so cocky. I think I was like, "Don't worry, I've done this."
I know, but we're on the label.
And by the way, forgot to let Megan made it so easy for everybody just to
yeah.
You basically you couldn't
Look
get
at
it
the
wrong.
label on that one; it's perfect in
Yeah,
every
yeah.
shape or form. I fucked it, like royally fucked it.
Did you go for a Johnny Walker 20 degree?
Oh, I wish.
effort?
I wish. It was like too low. It's the point where it's like it hit the bit and it's all like bubbled at the bottom. And then I thought I'd win it back by doing the back label. It's about 50 degrees off.
Really?
So
so that's why you stole Nicole Leslie's bottle.
Fraser soon escaped me that, and I was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Absolutely, take that home."
So Nicole, it's Fraser's fault. Ross ended up with your bottle.
There you are. Found the culprit.
Aye.
But you're not getting it back until you've paid the
But
ransom.
Fraser also gave me a bottle of Glentocker, so cheers, Fraser. Appreciate that. Good man.
But I should say, so we arrived back in Diggers just as the Jane Street tasting had just finished.
Come to a close.
And we had...
Oh, there were guys from, is it Ikawa Distillery in Japan?
Oh, God.
And they had had a great evening.
They were
They
pissed.
well served.
I mean, we were also, we konbawa.
I kept saying
to you
konbawa
guys.
to him, right? Because
Aye.
you said that's good evening, and he just kept saying adios, amigo.
Aye.
He just kept saying adios, amigo.
This is the head
I was like, mate, you're in fucking Edinburgh. What do you think you are?
Goodbye, my friend. Nice. Love it.
But it was great. And the thing was, so we finished the night. I think you poured the Glen. I couldn't even remember this. But it was nice because one of the last drams, turns out it wasn't my actual last dram, but one of the last drams was the Glencadam from Jane Street.
Yeah.
But the actual last dram that you got was...
A Glengarry, so it was an 11-year-old Cadenhead's Glengarry. So I thought what would be quite... Well, I didn't actually think this, I just ordered it. But by accident, there we were at the Jane Street tasting, and we had a Burnside next to a Cadenhead's.
there you go, aye.
you
But,
go.
well, so I should say also a point of order. In a future episode...
I predict.
I predict Angus is going to
You've
make
got-
a mess of this.
I've got my crystal ball out.
Aye, nightmare in the bath, but but
You said nightmare in the bath.
It's nightmare getting out of the bath.
my crystal ball.
With my head crystal ball.
Anyway,
Right.
a future episode,
Yeah, mind out the gutter,
which
Ross.
might be happening very soon. In that episode, we're having a conversation with Sam Simmons about Jane Street. I point out, as Ross has just doused the microphone receiver in whiskey, but anyway, I point out that the Jane Street is single malt, which I'm shot down in flames. It's not single malt, it's blended malt.
They told us it was single malt.
That's exactly right, Chuck. You were paying
That's
attention.
classic know-it-all, Angus.
Former head of research.
I've got
head of
dunces going on.
head of German accents. Head
of German
got it wrong.
Head of Japanese relations.
I'm hesitant to tell anyone's wrong about anything after my Royal Lochingar.
What were you calling it?
Royal
Royal
Lochingar.
Lochingar. I think I was thinking about people. Was it the car company?
Better by far with Lochingar. Your sponsorship is available. We've literally just done your theme tune on our podcast. But anyway,
This is going off the rails.
aye.
now.
So basically, about Jane Street, I really like their Glencadam one, which is meant to be their
The bourbon.
one. And I personally felt it was a nice way to end the night because I thought I'd ended the night with Glencadam because at 8 a.m. the next morning we were standing outside this very pub waiting to be picked up to go to the Glencadam Distillery. Ross.
I will say, Graeme,
Ah.
I really could have done 1 extra hour or two in bed.
Yes.
I was not happy.
How
when
did you
that
feel
alarm
at
went
8
off.
a.m. standing outside the Diggers?
That was brilliant.
You're fine. You're a pro.
I've been in training for this trip.
Yeah. I was, we were. I didn't feel as. I mean, I had a cup of tea when I got home.
I
But
felt okay, but I felt a bit.
yeah,
To me, I
could
mean,
have done 1 extra.
to me,
hour
the
in
way we
bed.
pace things, and
we did well.
I think that walk up that big freaking hill you got here,
At the mound. Yeah, we walked up there. But
You said you took that walk to school every day.
Yeah, that was a walk.
So you went to school at Hogwarts, huh?
yeah, that was us. Yeah. We were the muggles.
The butler picked them up at the top of the hill, Scott. Don't worry about it.
It was at the new steps. We had calves like absolute beasts. back
we were
then,
really
man.
high.
I had like
But
3 different muscles.
We did that with a backpack on us back as well.
Yeah,
That weighed
they all
about a
went to the
ton.
same
We all
school.
went to the same school.
but-
And we won't go into it.
Lot of
but
money
you're-
wasted.
You're scarily close.
We're all in the gutter. We're all in the gutter, Russ.
Angus is doing alright.
Look where you are now.
It's for another time, but you're kind of scarily, weirdly close with your Hogwarts thing. But anyway, carry on.
But that's so 8 a.m. the next day, we were getting picked up by our driver, who I've said is not getting a mention because of his behaviour in the car. He was like, "Are you going to mention me on your podcast?" He's a pal of mine from Kirkcaldy.
It's a good job we weren't recording him.
Yeah.
Because he would have been cancelled by about, I think, the first.
He's got 9
seconds.
fingers. He's a 9-finger fruit and veg merchant.
9.5.
9.5. But he drove us up to Glencadam free of charge. Forgot to charge his car, so we had to stop on the way to get it charged up.
We arrived just 25 minutes late to Glencadam.
But I tell you what, the guys at Glencadam, shout out to Cody. Cody.
For
pulled through
arranging
for us.
it, Michael up at, and Darren up at the Glencadam looked after us so well.
And it's only been open for 12 days by the time we'd got there. New visitor, brand spanking new. The distillery's been there for nearly 200 years, or maybe 200 years in fact. But
It is 200 years.
200 years.
25, yeah.
Highlight of the trip, highlight of the distillery. One highlight each.
Well, I kind of think I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to just say it anyway.
Ah, fuck.
I know. They have the warehouse there that has been converted. Converted, I know. I'll maybe.
Shut up,
Oh
Angus.
wait, there are a couple of different warehouses. I think I know where you're going.
No,
I
there's
know
a
where
warehouse
you're
there
going.
that has been converted into their kind of blending facility for their own, Angus Dundees when they blend. About 10 huge vats. I mean, the size and scale of this was incredible. This is where they blend for third parties, etc., etc. Just to see that's the side of the industry we probably haven't seen.
And they're very open about it.
Very open about
Like, there's
it.
no secrets.
No secrets. Apart from the bit you filmed and said, please don't film that.
That's right. And then I'm going up to the whiteboard, which had all the bats.
Target strengths and stuff like that.
So there was a wee bit of a secret, but apart from that, really open about it, really, really cool. Something I've not seen anywhere else so far.
It's part of their business, and I
and
love
it's part of
their
their business, and it's cool to see that
That's
side
a great
of
answer.
their business.
Scott,
But I knew that was what Graeme was going to say.
You
but
might be the first
for me it
American
was
to
as
visit
well.
Glencadam.
Maybe.
It's only been open 2 minutes.
Yes, it's been open 12 days. Maybe. Could be. I just know that, sorry if I steal yours, but that Dunnage warehouse from 1825, was it?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, from 1825.
Original warehouse.
Original.
I mean, it was just
1825 Dunnage warehouse.
Absolutely. I mean, you could scrape that whiskey fungus off
Yeah.
the ceiling.
And I imagine
It's a
you
beautiful
don't
thing.
get much Glencadam at all in Tennessee.
Well, we used to. I asked my guy, because I remember when I first started going to the shop that I go to, it was right on the shelf. There's a stock Glencadam, and it had Jeff's Pick, a little sign on there. And he's the owner. And so I started trying. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And then he doesn't get it anymore. So I texted him right before I came here. I says, I might be going to Glencadam. Why don't you get it anymore? And he said it's the distributor. I guess the distributor stopped carrying it because it was overpriced for the market or something like that.
Okay.
In other words, it had gotten too expensive for him to be able to sell it. And it was, before it was such a great buy,
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
It's now back up there. I think for the first 30 episodes, Glencadam was definitely a dram that I was always having on the
I
pod.
think Glencadam is arguably the best value single malt in
Oh,
Scotland. right
And
now.
one of the other highlights, Graeme, this might be your highlight.
He's going to steal my other highlight, isn't he? He's just going to go through all my highlights.
This might be another highlight of Graeme's.
That'll
I'm
be the
just gonna
pond, eh?
steal. No, it's
It's not
the
the pond.
no, it's not the pond. It's not Stillhouse. It's the fact that they had a very special dram that me and you enjoyed.
I was going to be my one, yeah.
Go on then, Graeme. You tell
Us
us.
listeners are keen.
Well, we walked out. So there's a dram that we've talked a lot about on the podcast, which has actually turned into a semi-unicorn dram for me, and it was the 14-year-old cognac.
That's you took on
Cognac
a away
cast.
day up to
Cognac
We had it.
Up
It was,
to
it was, and it had gone. It disappeared. It finished, and then it wasn't until we actually walked in, and behind the bar they had all they had boxes and stuff, and I said, "Oh my god!" And Michael said, and
I'm going to do an accent here.
no, we're not. Our relations
Out
are.
of Dutch accents.
Dutch, no, you
Michael-
don't wanna
But he
do a
said,
Dutch
"Yeah,
accent.
I think we have a couple of bottles."
Yeah,
of
but
this
what he'd done was what
behind.
Michael had done was when he's head of the visitor centre. Really, he's come from Kingsbarns, worked in 5-star hospitality,
Loves the bars.
and was brilliant at showcasing it, putting it all together. Yeah, but what he said was like before they opened, he went to their offices down in Coatbridge, and had a real rummage around and found stuff that he's like, well, there's no point now in this all sitting gathering dust.
We'll have it at
We'll
the
take it
visit
up there, and they had that, and it was an absolute cracking dram. But I would say there's so many things. Like, first of all, you cannot see the stills from a visitor's point of view. Right, because
you can see them,
but you can't
underneath.
walk past them like you can.
Your vantage point's
But
different
and
because
you
you
see
see
where
them
they're lit.
from below.
Well, they're on bricks, and they'll tell you a bit of story about that.
Talk about the line arm, which
Line
is
arms
really cool.
up
It's
the way instead of going down the way,
Yeah, it's almost
right? To
vertical.
make it work as hard as they possibly
Yeah,
can.
dramatic liner.
But what the other thing was, and again, this is where, and I hope it doesn't change because I think it might change over time, because they've only been doing distillery tours for 12 days at the time. By the time we'd got there, was like I'm standing beside the spirit safe, and there's just a lunch bag sat beside me, right? Like at the step.
It felt like a very.
And
It
there's,
felt
there's
like a
just,
working.
felt
there's
like
just
a
a
working
chair and a
distillery.
lunch bag right beside, and you're like, that's cool because what you're seeing is what is actually happening. If you walk past, I mean,
the production guys were having a wee bit of a laugh with us as well because we turned up and they're kind of looking at our watches going,
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
no 12:30 already, is it, lads?
but it's great. I mean, really short fermentation times. Probably of all the distilleries that we've been to this year, it's the
48
shortest.
hours
I'd say that's
But
the
still
short.
produce a very fruity character.
Because of the because of the copper contact that they go with.
Increasing the copper
They just
contact,
want to
like
try
their
and
spirit.
get all
But
that up.
Yeah.
I was surprised though. I thought light spirit, light fruity character would have longer line arms or something, and they were just Frankenstein stills.
Yeah.
But just for that's
So
it.
great,
So the
yeah.
fact that they're short stills,
Yeah.
but what they've done is they've got like the line arm going up. So that's
Yeah,
what he said.
it-
He said
incline.
that it
Boil
has
balls
to.
on them or anything.
I don't think so. He said it has to work really hard. The spirit has to work really hard to get up.
And they have condensers as well.
They've got shell tube condensers.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
there you go. Shell tube. There you go. What's that? It's a shell tube condenser, isn't it?
Yeah, get
But,
up.
It's tubes in a shell.
there you go. But
And line arm getting replaced next week.
Yeah.
We were the last people to see that line arm in
Do
action.
you think the short and stubby stills like add to the viscosity and then
Well,
you're
do you
still
know,
They're generally a heavier spirit, right?
Yeah,
And-
but I
and
don't think
oilier or whatever.
Yeah,
It's what-
it's a good point.
It's always had like a really good mouthfeel. Like the 15-year-old super fruity.
That's
tropical,
true, that's
and
true.
It does coat the cheeks really, really nicely.
See, I would have always, I would never have said that I've noticed Glencadam's viscosity before, and I prefer Glencadam in bourbon.
Yeah,
Maybe when I've
I would
had
agree
like,
with
these really, really long finishes that they do.
well, they do because they don't do short finishes. It's like for years.
I mean, they did double maturation. Some people would say
17 Portwood is an
6.5 years in port.
Yeah, and it's a phenomenal drop. I mean, maybe wouldn't think of it like a Macallan. Like,
Where you literally
where,
do you
like,
taste
kind
the
of-
spirit in my.
you
Try
got-
the new make.
No. We smelt it.
You tried the new make.
He sprayed some in our hands.
Oh, you sprayed it in the hands.
Yeah,
you
that's
get a
right,
lot
that's
of
right.
spray.
We didn't get to
Because
drink
we wanted to taste it.
Because
Right.
I think that is when you can really, and I'm not an advocate for, this is a great new make, blah blah blah. It just pisses me off. But when you see the stills and you try a new make and you go, I can kind of get it.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's interesting. I would have thought Glencadam had a longer fermentation time.
Yeah.
We got
48
new
hours.
make.
48. That's fucking not even trying.
I mean, seriously, we got new make from the Spirit Safe at Kilkerran, Glencadam Distillery, the Kilkerran peated run. It was, around 70%. It was just so sweet and not
Yeah.
harsh at all. It was fantastic. It's
What-
amazing.
One thing
I-
I'd say as
yeah.
well, another semi-highlight, Glencadam, great cafe.
Oh my God!
The mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese chips. Mac and cheese
well,
loaded fries
the-
with
the-
bacon and black pudding.
Well, bacon you can get as an optional
Wow.
extra on your mac and cheese, bacon and or black pudding.
And you get a few drams.
Get a
as
few
well.
drams as
The
well.
13 was a standout for me because I love it.
Yeah.
That it's the
I
gap.
love the 13.
The 13's a gap in production
yeah.
because they mothballed it in 2000 and reopened in 2003. So they've
I really like the 15. I
Kind of
can't.
banana-y note on the 13.
15
I don't
distillers'
think-
favourite.
I don't think you can beat the
Master
15.
distillers their favourite. Is a 15's a
I bet the
favourite.
25 is fucking brilliant.
We didn't try the 25. We
the
could
most
have.
Scotch thing
I
that's
was
been
going to say,
said.
thank you very much.
Yeah, we could have, but we didn't
No.
try 25. But we had the 15 was absolutely
I'll
superb.
do Cody because
I love the 10.
Cody Reynolds is not struggling to sell the 10, 15, but the 25 is a fucking ball.
I'll tell you what. Just get on the prices as well.
Glencadam,
Just-
what a distillery!
Yeah, not sponsored or anything like that, but honestly,
yet.
they looked after us, and big thanks to Cody for that.
Not until we get up to Bob Dylan's old big gaff.
Aye, well, that's right, yeah.
Tom and Towel.
But also, I would say as well, that we got a perfect day, and outside they're cooling water, which they use a sprinkler system to come in,
so
and it's
cool.
hot. The
Seeing
hot
the
water
steam
comes
coming
out,
off.
and
Yeah.
a sprinkler system into this nice little. Well, they've got fish.
They've
haven't
got koi. Well, not koi, I don't think, but they've got carp anyway. And they
Yeah.
said the carp on a
Tastes
co-
lovely.
on
Have
a
you tried the cart?
Have you tried the cart? Well, they have had people try to take the cart. But on a
Oh, have you tried the beef? They feed the bull.
I know.
The big
Well,
bull.
giant bull, that's right.
When we were driving up, we saw an absolutely massive bull.
Oh, huge.
Like
Field himself.
absolute
we were like,
unit of a bull.
Salute, sir.
And we reckon this bull absolutely has to be fed on the draft that's coming out.
Because they do use the draft.
Because they said no, a lot of distilleries, the draft goes now to biomass. We still want to support the farmers. It goes to animal feed, and I reckon this bull, that truck we saw, I reckon that was just gonna just go straight to that bull, and he was gonna have the lot.
That's it. Fantastic. A great day. And then we're back here for drams with
Hey.
Craig Darling was there. Moira came along.
We had a great
Yeah.
little,
We even brought a
shindig,
bagpiper in. We even brought a bagpiper in.
There we are.
See for all
Ed
the
was
drams
there
you've
too.
had in the diggers. What's been your favourite dram in the diggers? Scott?
Man,
Glen Elgin 13, he said.
Because
That's
you,
it, that's
because you
right.
come here and you, but you
Still
want to try
bottles
something
available,
you can't get
which
find
was in
back
Edinburgh.
home.
that's right. And
This
I've tried to
is-
do that with everything
This
I've
is
had.
a library for that.
So it's been it's an embarrassment of riches. I every one I've had has been something I can't get back home. So it's been so great.
And you
You,
still
you,
try
you,
and-
you the Springbank 5-year-old that you were giving people at the.
Yeah, I brought that,
was
from
a
Campbelltown.
super
Yeah,
dram.
yeah.
That was a lovely
super,
dram, yeah.
super
Very,
And,
very
and
nice.
actually, we've not even spoken about the drams that we've had on the table. We had lots of drams on the
Oh,
table.
aye.
But what we all have, and what we all have had, is a dram that you brought over for Kev as well.
Kev,
which was
that's right.
a cage bottling, right?
Yeah, so the cage, for people who don't know, they have this literal cage at Springbank. It's a, proper shelves, and the door is like, chicken wire type of thing. And every morning people line up for that. So when the shop opens, it's first come, first serve. Fortunately, as part of this Eat, Sleep, Dram, Repeat, they gave us a list and said, if you want a cage bottle, you can get one this week, and you can pick one. And so I wasn't really keen on that because I had plenty of the other stuff that I wanted to get. And so I texted Kev the list and says, anything you want here? And so he picked the Springbank Port Pipe. I think it's a 7-year-old maybe, or maybe it's a 10-year-old.
Absolutely super.
Yeah.
I've
It's
finished it already.
absolutely delicious.
Lovely.
And I'm drinking it from the
Super.
Yeah,
tasty.
well,
the Memphis Symphony Orchestra Glencairn, which I brought for you
a proud owner
guys.
of.
And this is Kev's, which he, as I have learned, just promptly puts right behind the bar for circulation. Right?
that's
Love
it.
And
Because,
circulation,
yeah, it is.
Because we've got a panoply of distilleries and
Yeah, so
independent
why
bottlers.
don't we start by going? We might as well do the drams now. So Scott, what have you been dramming tonight?
Well, thanks to you. Thanks for buying the drams here. The first one is one I've been wanting to try for a while, which I haven't seen in the States, is the Glengoyne White Oak, which a lot of people talk about.
lovely.
That was
You've heard
lovely.
us lecture on about it for half a year.
Right.
It was the
And
first
plus
dram I had when I got back after my trips. from
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
Shout out to Jake Adcock.
one of the things I'd wanted to do on this trip that I didn't get to was to go to Glengoyne just so I could ask if it was filtered through the heather in an American accent, So, and that's another nice thing about coming here is I've been able to do lines from Still Game with
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys
Yeah,
because none of my friends
people
are American.
understand what you're talking
You should
about.
be the,
I
you
know.
should be the US's
I
still
try-
game ambassador in all
I
reality.
try to get my friends to watch it, and they just don't get it, So,
My wife doesn't understand a word they say.
I swear to God, we watched it. We went 2 times through with subtitles, and then we started the third time. Several months later, and went, let's try it without subtitles. Nope.
Really?
But I'm better with it now. But listen to you guys and watching Still Game. I really haven't had a lot of problems understanding people here.
What did you think of the White Oak?
I loved it very much.
You
It's
brush your teeth with it, right? That's super
that's a good way to
approachable.
put it. Yeah.
And then what else?
And then the second one was this the.
I can't even remember the name of it.
It was the
Graeme.
it was a Glenfiddich
22-year-old.
Was this the Chinese
for the
release?
Chinese market or something like that.
I believe so. Gran Cortez. 22-year-old Glenfiddich, 44.3%, special sherry finish, rare sherry finish.
There you go.
I didn't think it
Definitely
was
a lot of-
that special, but I knew it was something that you won't see again.
Well, that's
Try
right.
a
Unless you're in
22-year-old
China.
Glenfiddich's fun.
It's very nice.
And if anything, I would say that when US people come over to Scotland, they're never going to order Glenfiddich.
Because we see
you see it
Glenfiddich
everywhere.
home. That's right.
So actually, to get a distillery that and you see everywhere, you almost would easily disregard and try a different expression for it. I thought it would be quite fun, and I tried it recently as well. I thought it was decent.
You had. I've literally only had the cage bottling and a little bit of that Thompson 25.
I on the back of your Springbank, enjoying your Springbank 5-year-old so much, I saw Kev had a 10-year-old Springbank recently, a Fino Sherry.
Well, it's just out, yeah.
The cask strength. Or?
Really, really nice.
Oh, nice.
Really, really nice.
Well,
but I have to
that's
admit,
25.
the port pipe, I enjoyed that a bit more.
Yeah,
Actually.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
You have the rest of the Lefroy 25.
Yeah,
I
enjoy
I
that.
don't turn it down. I love.
What have you had, Ross? Because you've had like.
So
you've,
I've
you've
been drinking this. I've been drinking- I've been drinking this Yank shite for the last 2 weeks. So I had a hunger to drink Scotch, also because, as you guys know, I'm not a big Isle of Whiskey fan.
No.
So this Bowmore that I brought over that I mentioned.
Because they don't have
before,
sushi there.
This is it.
They're the best seafood I've ever had in my life, and you're bitching about not having sushi.
So I
there.
brought what are you going to do in Ireland? They sushi. So brought over.
Shut up, Ross.
Brought over this Bowmore, but the Bowmore was quite smoky.
Right.
So I kind of handed it out. I just gave it to these big cement boys. So I was like, cock on it. So I've come back, and after 2 minutes of being in the bar, I've got 4 whiskies in front of me.
Really?
Dom, whiskey guru here. I said, what should I have? So Jane Street whiskey,
Yes.
the bourbon cask, single malt.
Yeah. Single malt.
Now, are we
Jane
allowed to
Street.
disclose the distillery or not?
I think we already have.
Yeah, it's Glencadam.
Okay. I thought
Glencadam
that,
5.
Even if we're not allowed to.
I
It's
thought-
on the back.
Yeah.
oh,
All right.
is it?
there you
Okay,
go.
I thought that was absolutely
Gorgeous.
delicious.
Yeah.
Really, really impressed. Had the cage bottle, thank you very much, Scott. Then I had an Arran 10 Arran barley.
Brilliant. Lovely.
That's so
Do you
great.
know, lads, I like Arran.
Yeah.
I really
Arran
do.
barley, I think, probably my third favourite place to get barley behind Fife, Rajasthan.
Five Rajasthan, then Arran.
Arran, I'll give it to Arran there.
And then
yeah.
I've got a 12-year-old cash strength Springbank, the 100% bourbon cask, which I saved a big Jurgen up there, but I've not actually tried it yet.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not really a big Springbank fan. I never have been a massive Springbank fan.
No.
But why not try?
I've probably drank more Springbank.
More Springbank in
This
the
week.
last few days than
Yeah.
I have in the last few months, probably. Yeah.
I've got a big box heading to Memphis from Springbank
Nice.
that I.
Super.
But the local barley, so good.
The
you know?
new one.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
how old is it? 13 or something like
I
that?
don't think it's even that.
Because it was an 8-year-old last year. I think I don't know, maybe an 11 or a 12 or a 13 this year.
I can't even remember. I can look it up in my notes. But there's I mean, you know, it's interesting. We did a tasting of all the new and forthcoming drams from Springbank, Glengyle, and there was a 30-year-old Springbank. There was a 8-year-old Kilkerran. There was a long row, I think a 100 proof long row, and Hazelburn. I forget what the deal was.
Or the H Oloroso.
No, I forget. I'd have to look at my notes. But I mean, we're all sitting there going, "Wow, 30-year-old Springbank," you know. And he's like, "What was your favorite?" And all of us picked the Kilkerran.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Okay, if you have one more of these drams, what are you going to pick?" And all of us picked the Springbank 30 because we're like,
Just to say,
when the hell are we going to have that again? Well, of course, the next day we did the warehouse tasting. We had 32-year-old from the cask.
Jeez.
oh wow.
So,
You've had that very good go at the drams, eh?
oh my God.
What I'd love for the Facebook page is if you could calculate the years of whiskey you've tasted on this trip.
You know, I started off diligently taking notes in my phone. It's so funny to look at some of my tasting notes in Campbelltown, especially because I start off, 45% bourbon and this much sherry, and this is the ABV, and then by the end it's like long row 8.
Tasty. Love it.
Chuck, what have you had?
I had a 12-year-old Glengarry by Finn Thompson, finished off in Tokai. That's
Very
the only
nice.
dram I got, and I got a pint as well. Of red.
Well, I have to say we've got some. You've got a dram for us as well, but we had mail. You've got mail.
Oh boy.
Stop.
While you're doing that, this is I picked this up at Good Spirits Company in Glasgow, which is right across the street from Pot Still. Well, not across. Yeah, it's across the street from SMWS, but it's around the corner from Pot Still, right?
Yeah.
This is a teaspooned North Highland blended malt Scotch whiskey, and it's got cats on the label.
Oh.
Any guess what that might be?
So we think it might be. What do you think?
Brora. Must be Brora.
You are incorrect. Nay points, prick.
8 points, nice. 18. So Klein Leash. What's a teaspoon with? Any idea? Guess none of us would know.
I think it's
Brora.
I think it's
5
I think it's the-
milliliters of
I
another
think-
whiskey.
I think it's the giraffe one.
Oh yeah.
Because that was
giraffe
another
one.
one. They had a teaspoon.
Come
Oh,
on,
right,
Graham.
sorry.
You're so sacked.
God.
Even I know that.
I didn't know that.
giraffe
No,
one.
sorry.
Well, I'll put my
So
paw
they
out.
had
Yeah.
had a
Thank you.
teaspoon. They had a
Just a
teaspoon.
small drop, Scott.
God damn it! They had a teaspoon
That's
giraffe
fine,
one there, which was amazing, but was
Fucking fake Klein.
but it was way more.
What's the percentage here, Scott?
This is I don't have my glasses.
48.5.
Thank you so much.
Right, well, we've got. Thank you very much.
Thanks
We've
so
got
much
mail.
for sharing.
I'm going to get Angus to open this. Yeah, I'll let
Oh,
Angus.
Christmas come early.
Let me unbox it, Graham.
Is it an unboxing? I think there's a lot of. We've got a few other things here.
This smells great, by the way.
Who sent us this, Graham? Before I
You open it, you'll find out.
open it and I'll find out. Okay.
I've also got to bring these out.
This is future potential sponsorships here.
Hopefully, but it's actually as a gift. It was a gift after a conversation that we had on the podcast. But I think if I know what it is, thank you.
Angus here, the head of box opening.
Here we go. This is great listening. Get the AMSR on this.
ASMR.
ASMR.
Wait.
Ooh. Right.
Oh no! Oh no!
Is there a message on the bottle?
Yeah, but I'm not very good at reading handwriting. So it's Glenturner,
Yeah.
and it says a wee dose of peaty maltiness. Enjoy.
There we go.
There we go.
Do you want me to tell you what it is, or
Is
shall I
this-
wait till you try it?
Well,
Try
let's
it. Try it first.
let's try it.
Stephen Woodcock.
I believe so.
Okay, let's
Now-
try this first.
Whilst we also,
I think it's obviously bourbon, right?
I'm going to say
Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah.
I have to apologise.
Really nice mouthfeel.
This is very kind, Stephen. Thank you so much.
I have to
for sending this.
apologise here. I think I know who these have come from.
Yeah, this was handed to me on our night.
Yeah, who handed it to you, Ross?
A lovely gent.
I think it's Neil Trippers.
I think it is Neil Trippers. It
If it-
definitely is Neil Trippers, who gave us our previous samples, and I made a fool of myself by saying how much I love the Inchmurrin, and I was like, do I actually love Inchmurrin? Because I've
There you
given Loch Lomond a hard time. Yeah, we've got four samples here.
Right.
I love it, man. I think it's great.
What we'll do
Especially
if
the
we've got to go and grab a
Great,
clean
isn't
glass, Angus, out of the.
I'm a fan of Loch Lomond stuff.
Yeah.
It's dirty in a good way, I think.
There's a clean glass. I will pour a little
I
dram
think
of
there's
this.
a massive amount of variety, and they do.
That's true.
But we had
There's no doubt about that.
We had that peated grain.
We had peated grain from.
Hey, do we have here, Diggers? The it's malted barley, 100% malted barley, but they do it in the column still.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the single grain from them. I assume they will have that here. I love that.
I'm gonna try that.
Copper coated column still single grain whiskey made with 100% malted barley.
That sounds amazing.
Let's
It's
try another
class.
glass of water.
Genuinely, really, really
Let's do
good.
the rest of Angus's water.
And
to
I would
clean up
argue
the glasses.
Inchmurrin's great.
fire
Croftenga, it has the ability to be fantastic and to be really shit, and I think that's great in itself. It's a real
Ooh.
pick or mix.
Right.
Have a wee bang on the nose of that, Graham.
Have a wee bang on the nose there.
Peated maltiness. Do you get?
Well,
I get the
Neil
I get the
Trippers-
maltiness.
I know what it is, but I'm going
Right.
to get Ross to try this.
Ross, try.
Okay.
You try this.
Well, here, have a look at sample number 2 here.
It's a big enough pour.
We are
I'll be
not.
interested for the blind taste that to see what they think.
We're not walking out of here tonight, lads.
So, doesn't smell that smoky.
Doesn't smell that smoky. I can smell the maltiness. I get the maltiness a
Oh,
lot.
there's a wee bit of frazzles on the nose, I guess.
Okay. Drink it, see what you think it is.
Alright.
Because I know what it is.
It must be Glenmurray if it's come from Glenturner. Let me have a wee try as well.
Oh, Glenn Turner's a guy.
No. Glen Turner is a company that owns Glen Murray.
All right. Fair
It's
enough.
come from Stephen Woodcock, who's a guy.
I see.
Maybe Glen Turner was a
Oh,
man.
it's like a caramelly toffee.
What do you mean it doesn't smell peaty? It does.
No, you do get a bit of smokiness, but no, it's actually that.
That smells like a fucking car tire.
And I definitely opened up. It didn't smell like that.
I am a huge fan of that. That is ridiculously good.
That's like smoky toffee.
Right, what do you
That
think it
is absolutely.
Where's it come from?
that
It's come
is-
from Glen Murray.
Gimme.
It's got to be a
Is it?
Glen,
It's got to be
a Glen
Glenmurray,
Murray.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's peated.
And
peated.
what am I looking for? Cash type beer or
I know
something?
Glimmer does peated though.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't-
yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
It
Famously.
tastes like where there's original like dipped in tar.
It's
Like,
absolutely.
That is a wanky tasting note.
It's
That's-
super.
I've got another clue
That's
I can give you. I've not tried that yet.
That's awesome.
That's
It's
amazing.
absolutely incredible dram.
That's really medicinal.
Yeah.
Graham's gonna like it
I'm
because
a,
he
I'm a huge fan of
public
that.
image.
How can you not?
But you
How
think
can
it's
you not know what that is, guys? Come on.
Glen Murray painted.
It's
It's
Pete.
Peter Glen Murray.
It's Peter Glenmurray. I couldn't tell you.
Am I going to
but-
have to give you the final clue? That'll
You're
give
gonna-
it
Yeah, what are you
gonna
looking
know.
for? I
It's
don't-
not whiskey.
It's a spirit
It's
drink.
the spirit, the maple spirit drink.
Yeah.
It's a peated version of it.
Yes, yes.
Holy!
That is so basically.
So is it a
Glen-
maple? Is it a maple syrup cask?
Yes, maple cask.
That
And
is
they've done this with a
absolutely
spirit-
maple wood.
incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So they done
Jesus
so
Christ.
literally they put maple syrup
Yeah.
in a cask, which is illegal in Scotch whiskey,
Of course, yeah.
for the spirit of Speyside, and they've
That's
got an unpeated
amazing.
version.
We've got more.
The
We've got more.
peated
I'm having
version.
more.
Oh my God,
I'm
Stephen
having
Woodcock!
that is super.
I hope
That's-
if that
that's
should
genius.
release.
I bow to that.
You've just given Angus a whiskigasm, by the way, because that's the most excited I've ever seen. You look like a kid.
Look at
I tell you what.
It's still sticking to the glass.
Create some
Look at
wanky
this
tasting
guy.
notes from you,
I
Angus.
can safely say this is the second best spirit drink I've ever had.
There you go. Very close behind the Glen Elgin 13 Spirit Drink, which is available
Absolutely.
Well available.
for only £65 on Woodrow's and
65.
Only 65.
It's still
I thought
looking
it
for
was
sponsorship.
And do you
165.
know
What
what?
a
It's
bargain.
£65 and we're actually calling it whiskey this time. But no, look, I tell you what, Stephen.
Oh, you-
Wow. Because he
wow.
messaged
That
me
is-
saying, I heard you guys talking with Sam Barber on the pod that you hadn't.
SBX, shout out.
SBX, yeah. He said that he said about how there's a peated version of that. We'd said, is that? We've never had that. That
We've only
sounds
had the
amazing.
unpeated, which was
I thought you guys would have got that instantly. But
That's
obviously.
so tasty.
But that's going to be a Highland peat, I guess, right?
I don't know. Yeah,
yeah,
probably,
it will
yeah.
be. I mean, I would buy a bottle of that tomorrow.
Oh, there you go.
I would
100%.
I think on our reactions, we
think-
should probably send 2 or 3 bottles.
I think so.
I think-
I think,
oh my God!
I think
Do you
unfortunately
ship
it's
to
all
America?
gone, but,
Because I'm not. No, well, they didn't. No, they've not bottled a peated one.
They
no,
have.
they have.
Did they?
They have. They bottled it at the
bottled
same
two.
time as the
Oh,
unpeated one.
fuck. How
I
come,
think
how come nobody ever got that in their pub?
Well, I know. Well,
I don't know. How
Kev, get your finger out, eh?
Aye.
Oh my!
That's fantastic. Well, I've had
Honest, I mean, I'm banned from buying whiskey at the moment. But that's a spirit drink.
It's lovely. Aye, there you go. I tell you what, that's a cracking. I tell you what that is. That's exactly what you need after Christmas dinner.
I didn't know they even done a peated one.
Aye.
And by the way, it kicks the arse at the unpeated one.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh,
I'd
that
say.
is just.
I'd say that's yes, definitely.
That is wild.
Any wanky tasting notes for us here, Angus?
Well, we just had one from Chuck. Werther's original dipped in tar.
tar.
Brilliant.
I think that's wank.
I don't think I'm going to top that, Graeme. I do get the.
I'm just over here existing. To be honest with you, I didn't
But you are the master of the wanky tasting.
Yeah.
He's a founder.
I do get that.
You were
like,
you were the
smoky
OG
bacon
wanky
from a
tasting.
kind
Since
of
he was
dirty
12.
pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's smoky
tell
bacon
my
in
mother
it.
how dinner tasted and she'd slap me. Yeah.
Love it. Did you put sample 2 out here?
What's that?
Is that sample number 2? You
No,
report
this is
that?
sample number 2 that
Right,
we've got.
I've just cleared up.
But you can't know that you're. Are we supposed to try these blind? Or are we supposed to just sample them? I mean, first of all, Neil Trippers.
Okay, let's do number 2 first. Well, we should do number 1 first.
We're just sharing.
Yes. Well, it says A, 2, 3, and then nothing.
Aye.
so
Well,
we'll start with A.
It's an interesting coding system you've got there, Neil.
Right, so A, clean glass.
Start at the beginning with A.
I'm not sure you'll have had this distillery before, Scott.
Okay.
Oh.
Start with yourself. This is 59.7%.
Oh yeah.
Aye.
I didn't pour enough in there. I pour more in
Maybe
there.
working
Just because
tomorrow.
we're all going to have a taste.
I've got to drive tomorrow.
Yeah. So.
And I slept in yesterday, so this is not looking good for me.
Aye. I'm not going to buy any bottles that have been bottled tomorrow. Yeah.
Trying after you, Scott. I mean, this is going to be shite compared to what I've had
That's
before.
what That's what I was
This is
thinking.
a hard act to follow.
I mean, it's-
but I mean, let's go.
It's
go.
tasty, but my God.
This. Any kind of idea what it could be, Scott? This is hard.
No, I just had a cold the last couple of days, so I'm not to my usual.
I like that. Get a bit of
Skills.
sulphur on it.
That's true.
Get a bit of sulphur on the nose, bit of sulphur on the palate. Got very kind of coppery.
I don't like it.
I can see why it might split opinion.
Very like chlorine, like swimming pool chlorine vibes.
Yeah, a little bit like that. But that's nice. We walked into a hotel that was smelling of chlorine, and we
nearly spat.
in Dundee, nearly spad. Nearly sacked off Glencadam for a spa.
So sample A.
I like that.
Graeme said to be tasty. You like it?
Yeah, finish is a bit strange, but I like the palate feel.
I don't dislike that.
Ben Nevis.
It is weird, but it's not by Nevis. This is an Annandale 6-year-old. First fill Oloroso WTB.
I thought you were going to say WTF at the end.
WTB, the whiskey,
WTB.
the whiskey bros, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, Annandale's not something we see back.
WTB is the whiskey broker will be TWB.
Yeah, I don't see Annandale back on stage really. So.
Annandale's part of the Jane Street as well.
Right.
Woodrow's.
I know that I
really?
tried one. And somebody...
Annandale's one of the
Oh, Bob
Woodrows.
Cutting. Bob Cutting.
Yeah.
when I
Bob
was at-
Cutting, shout out to Bob
He-
Cutting.
yeah.
They've done
Bob
they've
Cutting.
done, Annandale
He,
stuff.
he messaged me
Street.
when I was at Pot Still.
Yeah,
Try that
that's the
Annandale
Yeah.
thing.
Or was that the
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to try to visit the whiskey shed in the summer.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Let's.
The current wife and I are going to England, and then we're going to wend our way back up.
I will say,
Superb.
if people, haven't heard of Scott, and you kind of maybe don't understand why he's our US ambassador, you've got to join our Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely. Join the
Um,
Facebook group. Get on
And
the
actually,
Weekend Dram
it
roll
was
call.
very,
The
very
video-
early days.
yeah.
I think this is some of the best content that's come from the Whisky Stories podcast. Started with Scotsmore's house tour whiskey
Yeah.
collection, because you
Behind
inspired.
the keyhole, through the keyhole, through the getting to
Let's
see
see
everyone.
who's
get
through
my
the
Also, you know-
keyhole.
Did I drop my phone again?
Yes, you did. It's over there somewhere, I think. Or it's under Graeme. It's under your seat, Graeme.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I was just because I had something I was going to accentuate this
Are
story.
we going to hear from Susan?
Please continue. Please continue.
I just thought, and for us, do you know, Scott, it really meant quite a lot for us, because it's the first time we had heard. Not only it was great that you were getting involved, and you're from the other side of, you're from North America, but the wee notes and the wee kind of this guy's actually listened to us since day one.
Aye, clap us in.
Gets
Then there
the
was
jokes,
current
yeah.
wives.
And
there
then
was-
and then you've started new memes for that. Well, actually, Susan, your current wife, has started a new meme from that, which I believe is probably perfect now, because I keep talking.
Here's what she did.
Shut up, Ross.
And so you may or may not have seen that around the Whisky Stories social media. And it is the universal message.
Shut up, Brass.
And
do you
it
think
speaks
about it?
well to your character that you have taken that as your mantle in life. And
I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, unfortunately, I've not.
you're not. I gotta say, for someone so young, your knowledge is.
Don't.
There's not. Oh,
Don't
do you know?
stop,
Do you know? I'm
don't.
glad you
Why-
said
why
it.
do you have to
No,
go
Oh, I'm
it's
coming.
not.
I'm
What
coming
are
right
you
back
doing,
down. Don't
mate?
worry.
Oh,
Don't
no,
worry.
you
Don't worry. I'm coming right back
Didn't
down.
even.
This is the difference between Scottish people and American people. You say your friends and people.
Does that taste familiar to you, Scott? Because you have had this before. There's a wee clue.
Oh no, that's a
You're gonna
clue.
put me on the man. I caught out of the
Let me have a
blue.
little try of this, Scott.
Out of the blue when I
No,
was.
you haven't. We've poured the wrong one.
No, you have. Yeah, you
No, it hasn't.
Is that all you
No, we've poured fucking 3. Anyway, you've not had this before.
We poured number 3 instead. We've had A.
You've not had this.
Well, you've had A, but you've right. Okay.
Anyway, I was just saying, you know a lot, and then, you also let us know a lot. So
Yeah, it's
and,
true.
and Susan would hear me in the kitchen with my earbuds in. I'm doing the dishes, and sometimes when you'd be interrupting, I'd be like, "Shut up, Ross." She's like, "Why do you keep listening to that?" And so, but
I think.
I do think that you have become quite a thoughtful interviewer for the most part.
Well, I appreciate it, and I think do you know what's the most amazing thing about this podcast after 2 years is Angus has tremendously consistent contributions that nobody else would ever get
That's right.
in between me and Graeme. I don't. Me and Graeme. I'd argue me and Graeme could have a podcast about almost anything
Yeah.
because we just
I've tried 3 other podcasts, mate.
It was so.
we just
I mean, our
talk.
day out,
But
it's just like
Yeah.
there's so many layers to what.
It-
I mean,
yeah.
I was like I was telling them. I feel like because I started listening day one as well. I think was it you that did the Reddit post? Did we decide?
I think it might be.
Aye.
And so I saw it's like here's a new whiskey podcast.
Yeah.
Check it out.
that?
And so I started listening right away, day one, and yeah, it's just like I feel like what I was saying,
That's what you just
almost like we've grown up together in
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah.
So, because your journey has kind of been the same as my journey, and you brought in all these people, you know, a lot of whom I saw at Mother Superior at the Jane Street launch on Thursday night. You know, I walk in and there's Mark Thompson, the whiskey whiskey zaddy, right?
I've seen that.
with the whiskey Dougs.
Yeah.
And your buddy from Bevy there, Laurie Black. You know.
Yeah.
What'd you think of him?
Wait a nice wee talk.
And,
I liked
what
it
we
very
were
much.
having was some
Greg Urquhart as well.
some sort.
Yeah, Greg Urquhart. He came right up. Are you Scott Boer? What? But the funny thing, I didn't realize that party was for people in the trades. You know, and I was wearing my souvenir Kilhoman fleece vest. And everybody's coming up. Oh, you're Kilhoman. I'm like, no, I'm just kind of.
Whisky Stories.
What we were having there was a Madeira cask. I can tell you that for
There
sure.
we go.
A Ladna
I think it's Bladna, and
it could be, you know, yes, or
I'm still not really sure what that is.
Ladna Halaise. It's like mayonnaise, but Halaise, something in Gaelic.
It's definitely sample
something
number
Gaelic.
3.
Definitely a Madeira
Sample
cask.
number 3
I mean,
was a
Graham,
Madeira cask. We
you
try that for sure.
Can you try and decipher that?
We've had
for
sample
us if
A
you can?
and we've had sample 3.
Yes.
Right.
However, I now have sample 2 in my hand.
Ooh,
Oh, I know what it is. I fucking know what it is.
such great knowledge.
The power of Google.
The power of Google.
It's a strange independent bottling, and they've done loads of like. You'll have seen this name, Bladna Ashes.
I don't know that.
Okay, it's a distillery based out in like somewhere in the Hebrides, and they've not produced any of their own whiskey yet.
Yeah.
Soap suds. I get soapiness.
I don't like it.
I
Distillery's
have to
called
admit, I'm not. It's slightly creamy mouthfeel, but not a huge.
I was not a fan.
Not
But
a
we're-
huge
yeah,
fan
we're
of that
having
either,
a-
if I'm going to be honest.
I'm back on finishing up Jorgen's.
And it's annoying because I usually really like Madeira.
it's so good.
I usually really like Madeira cask,
So it's
but
an undisclosed Highland whiskey.
yeah.
finished
Not bad.
Madeira.
But
It's
Not
not,
bad.
bad. It's
Not
not
bad.
bad whiskey.
Great.
Sample number 2.
So we've gone
This is what I thought.
A, 3, 2.
A, 3 and 2.
Right. Now, Scott, you have had this before.
You have had this before. And by the way, it is not as good as I remember, but it is still bloody good.
Really?
Oh,
Graeme Gilgibber has seen what this is.
I know what this is.
I don't know what this is.
I'm
so
looking forward to
interested
having
in
it.
trying it.
I'm hating that I
So
have.
don't pass that to
I'm
me.
hating that I have a bit of a cold to this
Don't pass
podcast.
this
Because it's like,
Second-hand glass as well, what you going to do? Yes.
yeah.
There's no job
Yeah.
up on the line.
Who had fish for supper?
Garlic baguette for my lunch again.
I'm getting that
Oh, you
first.
go first, then.
You
Graham.
can sod off.
Okay, so
Sod off.
It's kind of young,
Top
right?
this up, actually.
Charming, Graham,
Top,
eh?
top this up.
Oh,
do you think this is the kind of thing you might have purchased a bottle of, Scott? Because I think it is.
oh,
You think it is?
oh.
I'm in no state to guess. It's the blind tastes. Hey, listen, man.
This is something that I would say that I don't know how he's got a sample of it, and that we are lucky to try it. And we've been
Oh.
given a few samples of it.
Interesting.
It's lovely.
Charles Kerr, and deep thought here.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
In fact, you know something?
Go on.
It's not as good as it was the first time we tried
We had it. We've had it already this week.
Had it this week.
Well, that really
hell?
narrows it down. 250 distilleries.
I don't think you've had that before, Chuck.
We've not had this
But
exact
you
bottling.
like this distillery. What's your thoughts?
I really like it. It's like kind of I don't want to say something too wanky, but it's really wanky. It's like raspberry ripple ice cream with tons of brown sugar on top.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting a nod of approval.
Aye.
This may be my. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There is
Um,
there is a raspberry ripple kind of sweetness,
Yeah.
sweet
It's
vanilla there.
really that's really lovely.
Vanilla
I don't know what
sugar.
that is, but it's great.
I don't know what that is either.
That is a bottling that it's not
I'm
available
gonna-
in the
is
UK.
Is it an Arden American?
It's in Arden, America.
Oh,
USA!
USA!
this is the one I drove 600 miles round trip to get.
Shut up, Scott.
Okay, that tells you
Second
how
verse.
much of a cold I
Arden
had.
America.
That I didn't pick that up.
That is super.
It is tasty though. But
yeah.
listen, you still said that's young. Well, you're right.
No,
But
it
do
is
you
young.
do you have a bottle of Arden America,
do.
2024?
I do. I
Yeah.
drove to St. Louis from
Oh, no,
Memphis.
that's a 2024.
Yeah.
We've
Oh,
had the 2025.
2024.
That's true. This is
okay.
yeah. We've had
So this is not
2025.
the new one. So what's
So
the
I've
make
never
of
had
this?
that before.
No, we
I
don't
don't
have
know.
this. This is
Arden
last
American-
year's.
Ardent America 2024.
That's superb.
Aye. So
It's
that's
superb.
that's
Because
what.
the 25.
I
is,
totally agree
yeah.
with you. Strawberries and cream,
Sauternes.
raspberry ripple.
I don't think it's peated. I'm not sure that it's.
It doesn't
Sauternes.
taste
This one,
This
no.
one is.
I don't know what it is, but the 25 is mostly peated Sauterne and one cask of ex-bourbon unpeated.
That's why I thought that we'd had because
Yeah,
we had
the-
because basically the lassie behind the bar
Yeah.
at Mother Superior, we had the Sauterne cask Ardent American on Friday,
Yeah.
and she said this is basically Ardent America.
Was it the peated or the unpeated?
I think it was peated.
Alright.
What, the one that we had?
Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
said this is basically what they use for Ardent America.
That's right.
with
yeah.
the exception of
just that one
the bourbon and
cask
then
of,
yeah.
That's right, of ex-bourbon.
So yeah, there we go. Right,
gone.
we've had right.
That's
had-
absolutely super.
We've had A 3 2, and then this has not got a number or a letter on it.
Yeah, so this is going to be.
This is undisclosed.
I'm screwed because I'm... Okay.
right, Scottish.
Doing it that
Scott.
way.
Isn't it fun though, Scott? You know,
It is the best.
this is.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice. This is pretty.
Straight away. A fan
I
of that.
actually didn't look at this. Let me not see it.
All right,
not
I've seen it. So
Do you know what it is from what you've seen?
I know what it is. I can read it.
Okay, no, but like you know what when you see it and
I know.
you've heard of it.
I've heard of this. Yes,
This
that's
is
all.
this is very familiar. I know when I hear what this is. I know when I hear what this is, I'm going to know what it is.
There's a kind of pear drop nose.
That's
to
a
this.
good call. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Ardent
I don't know why
America.
you're looking at me.
it's,
I'm
matured in Madeira barrels and sherry casks.
I've had that one.
So that was 2024.
Yeah, Madeira sherry.
Yeah. Well, no, I was lucky enough to have one of them, the Belfry, Ian.
Ooh, I like the
manager there.
nose.
I know, right?
I would say,
I've
would
got
say,
the-
unfortunately, the nose is better than the palate on this one.
Yeah,
I like the
I think
palate
that's
too,
the
though.
case of 99% of whiskey for me.
I know, but noticeably, the palate was.
All
Richard
right,
Patterson's
Richard
in the building.
Patterson is, stick it.
Hello,
Hello.
Hello, how are
how are
you?
you?
Just covered the front row in whiskey.
I've got a wet knee.
After a
It's
long
little,
night,
It's a little soft.
Yeah, I would agree.
after a long night of drams in Campbelltown in the guest house, everybody started doing their Richard Patterson
Yeah.
impressions. It was
Yeah, cover the
Let's
cost.
hear it, Scott.
a rollicking good time. What's that?
Let's hear it.
Hello. How are you?
I've heard worse.
And then you have to chuck it over your shoulder and all that kind
Aye.
of shit.
Most expensive carpet in the world, so we hear. So you've obviously done a few distillery trips. You lads
Stingiest
have done
pour so far,
Glencadam.
right?
Can I tell you about
Well,
the
yeah.
recent trip to Balvenie?
Well, first of all, we've got to
Decipher what this is.
Yeah, sorry, I've poured this.
It's good. It's tasty.
Oh, you're sorry.
Oh, you
I'm
poured a
sure.
lot
yeah,
of it.
Yeah,
You poured a lot of it.
Aye,
Suggests
give
it's
it-
good.
give it-
Had a look. It's a Blair Athol, what, 14?
Blair Athol 14, 46.1%.
I was just at this
I was
the
just about to
story
say, I'm pretty
yesterday.
sure you were
Star.
there yesterday.
Oh,
We
North
start-
Star, maybe.
It has Wee Star on the back.
No, I've never heard of that.
You know, that was a great tour at the very end. In the beginning, it was Diageo special.
Yeah.
But at the very end, you know, so the tour guide, well, she had the Edinburgh Whisky Academy little badge on. And this summer I had lots of time down. I was like, I'll do something online, kind of like, you know, see if I could boost my knowledge. And that was the cheapest one. So I did the first level. And I was like, hey, I've got one of those, but I only did the first level. I could tell hers was the second level. She goes,
You're more qualified than me.
oh, yeah. So, yeah, sure. I'm more qualified than you, Ross.
I've not done any of those courses.
Well, you don't need to because you know everything, motherfucker.
I don't know. You know what I mean, motherfucker. I would actually. I wish you were more pronounced with the motherfucker. If it,
that's
First
why we did-
motherfucker on the pod.
That's what we did in Memphis. Motherfucker. All right, so anyway, but so she kind of, you know, I mean, it was like the more exclusive tour or whatever. I mean, there was like a 30-year-old Blair Athol in
Nice.
there, which was great.
Spirit's good, isn't it?
I've always loved it, but I can only find it in independent bottlers in
Yeah.
the States, right? They don't even have it.
The Flora and Fauna.
Apparently, they can't even. They're not licensed to sell single. That's what I learned yesterday. They're not licensed to sell single malt in the States. So anyway, so at the end of the tour, it was like me and 5 French people, and my God, those people are so freaking beautiful. You know, I was just like,
And they hate Americans, notoriously.
that's all right. You know, I've taken it as a point of pride that I'm at least in this group and some other groups, I'm one of the least loud and obnoxious people. Which, to my friends who know me back home, that will come as quite a surprise.
Well, bonjour to the French.
But anyway, so you know, we got to the end of this tasting, and most of them had never had whiskey before. She did a great job leading them through, you know, the production and how to taste and everything. And so everybody's getting up to leave, and she goes, Scott, hold back, you know. And so they leave, and she gets out a Dalyun 21. It's one of the
special release.
Yeah,
wow.
the one of this year's Diageo.
I think it's the best one.
It's fantastic. It was amazing.
Huge.
And then she poured me. She's a big Mortlock fan. She poured me a Mortlock 16.
Nice.
Like 16
What did you think of the Dalyun 21 special
I
release?
loved it. I love Dalyuns. Again, another distillery I've only had in independent bottlings.
Yeah.
You know, so that was
Oh,
fantastic.
you've got to try the Flora and Fauna 16 before you go home. It's a fucking belting. Dram.
Okay, get it
I'm
upstairs.
sure he has it in here.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, we have
we're
to
running
say
out of time. Yeah.
thank you to Neil Trippers for those.
Thank you, Neil.
What was our
Thank
favourite?
you so
Arden
much.
American, probably for me.
Yeah.
Oh, the Ard in America was.
The Blair, I thought I quite liked
special.
towards it.
I did like the I like the Blair.
liked A2 and the non-numbered or non-lettered. I don't know that, but I'm a massive fan of 3.
Okay, yeah, because we had 3 in the second. Right, okay, yeah, very good. Thank you very much, Neil. That was very kind of you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for Stephen Woodcock as well for sending them
Oh.
in. Great.
And to Jürgen.
And to Jürgen as
And
well
to
for
Jürgen, yeah.
Well,
for
Front
absolutely.
25 was
That was my favorite of them.
Yeah,
that was
25 was
fantastic.
fucking
Right.
outrageous.
That was
Now,
really, really
Ross,
nice.
you quickly you went away to you weren't quickly up north, but you went on a great Balvenie tour. But it's just where we have.
I've just had the best tour of my entire life, and I can't believe
Really?
it.
Because you've been to a few distilleries,
I
right?
think I've done about 60,
Really?
And this tops a lot.
and I'd been to Balvenie before.
Oh, wow.
But on this tour, Sean, based down in London, Balvenie ambassador,
We met him.
Yeah.
what a great guy.
We
Yeah,
have,
we met him at the
So
Balvenie
refresh-
tasting at the whiskey shop.
So refreshing for a whiskey ambassador, for such a historic and brand to just be. He's so open, and you know, some of the people that were on the tour flew up from London, had never been to a distillery before.
Yeah,
And yet you had Julia, the general manager of the Pot Still,
nice.
and me,
Yeah.
who were like, "This is gonna be fucking awesome," and we'd been to however many distilleries, and Julia's a fountain of knowledge, so we already knew we were gonna have a good time. We got to see the cooperage on site.
Yeah.
I'd
cool.
heard of the cooperage on site, never been
Yeah.
there.
Floor malt.
Master Cooper, who'd been there since 1969.
9-year
His-
apprenticeship.
His master before him had been there for 60 years.
Mental.
There's over 100 years of coopering between the two of them.
That's
Unbelievable.
A lot
Tried,
of barrels.
tried the 25, which I've had before. Tried the 30 with Balvenie 30 rare marriages. It's a fucking piss take with the price. I love it. I just love it. And then stayed
How
at
do you get invited to these things?
stayed at the Five Farms.
Yeah. Did you rack up a bill?
I remember smoking cigars. I don't smoke. But-
Kennedy.
one of these guys came up from London, and he runs a place called the George Private Members Club. He brought
Right.
up all these cigars, like fucking 120 quid a cigar.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll suck on a bit of that for a bit. For a wee bit. Had the 40-year-old Balvenie, $7.5 a bottle. Not as good as the 30. But really cool to try because I'd never had Balvenie 40 before, and I've always loved Balvenie. And so just an amazing trip, great access. There's one distillery I want to go to more than any other distillery in Scotland now,
Go on.
and it's Convalmore.
Convalmore.
So Convalmore is closed,
Right.
but Convalmore is now.
It's where they have lots of warehousing. for
Convalmore is now
Balvenie and-
Balvenie's warehouse, and they say,
Ooh.
and we're walking through, and I'm like,
Confident.
oh, look at Convalmore, and he says, you know how they say, oh, well, warehouses, it's got a bit of everything everywhere. It's like, that's the special one.
Really?
So I'd love
really?
just to get
Ah,
into
you-
that
I
warehouse.
think
at
there's
Convalmore.
somebody else that would quite
Because I
fancy
think
a
there'd be
trip
some
to
crazy
Convalmore.
stuff in
Aye,
there.
anyone there.
Show up with microphones and a wee camera.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
get in
Well,
anywhere.
we'll do that.
But
Well, if
honestly,
anyone wants to
just
invite us up,
a brilliant tour. William Grant and Sons, they know how to do it. They do it so well.
Yeah.
Still love Balvenie 12 Portwood, but the 30 was just, it reminded me how much I love it.
Floor
Fantastic.
Malton's there as well, Ross. You get to see the Floor
About
Maltons.
20% of production as well, which
Nice.
is
That's pretty
to
decent.
be admired.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
pretty decent.
Well, when you look at the size of their production, 20% is probably
Yeah.
a big chunk.
Yeah.
Right, we are fast approaching that time, Scott. I don't know if you have been prepared for this, but you've listened to enough episodes where I didn't have to warn you. What we have to ask our guests at the end of every episode of your what 3 drams, any 3 whiskies that have any kind of story or meaning associated to you. Scott, what is your first dram of your what 3 drams?
So I anguished over this, to be honest. But because there's so many, and 3 is not so many.
Yeah.
But I hate to be prosaic and go along with so many people on the podcast, but Lagavulin 16 was my gateway whiskey. That's the one, and I think
It's a gateway for so many people.
I mean, and also, I started drinking spirits, in the late 80s, early 90s, when I was in Mexico with really nice tequila. And I came back here and I got into single malts, and I was like, okay, that's fine, it's fine. And then I had Lagavulin. It's just like a smack in the face in a good way. Kind of like hoppy beers were starting to be a thing back then too. You know what I mean? So so strong flavors. And I grew up in the South. Finished my undergraduate degree in Southwest Louisiana, where there's a big Cajun influence. So spicy food and hoppy beer. So
Big flavors.
That's right.
Jambalaya and gumbo.
Oh, dude! If you had my jambalaya gumbo, you would you'd never go back home, man. It's good stuff. So Lagavulin, and it was a bit in that gateway, and so
was this kind of 90s you were drinking Lagavulin 16, or
yeah.
Wow.
And then it was kind of always it's always had a bottle on the shelf,
Super.
Pandemic hit and everyone started drinking, so I put in an order to the liquor store for Lagavulin. Oh, we're out. And I'm like, what? Because everybody's drinking, right? What else do you have? And they recommended Port Charlotte. And I'm like, oh, this is very nice. What else do you have? Well, there's this Ardbeg 10. And I'm like, that's the Ardbeg really grabbed me at that point. So I just kind of really went nuts on Isla at that point, right?
Can you still go back to Lagavulin 16?
Interestingly, not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
But it's still one of your what-free drams because of how important it was for your whiskey
because
journey.
it was a gateway for me, right? But I love the those 12-year-old special releases they do every year, especially the one a few years ago with a lion on it. That was amazing, Yeah, so Lagavulin and
great whiskey.
Yeah,
and
A Eureka whiskey. I love that story of you already liked spirits.
that's true.
well,
Was it hard to move from drinking really good tequila to getting into Scotch whiskey? Here's the thing: have you always been in Tennessee?
Yeah. I drank. Okay, I did drink bourbon, and my go-to before I really got into Scotch whiskey was Gentleman Jack.
And did you have a friend that got you into Scotch, or somebody that you were
No,
close to, or did you just it was really your own journey?
Yeah, it was. Through Lagavulin, I always went back to Lagavulin. That was my that was my fancy drink.
Nice.
nice. I mean, I am currently collating. I'm trying to. What I have done for the last week and a half is I've been going through the transcripts of every single episode that we've done. I wish I'd started doing this in every 10 episodes because it would have been a lot less work. But through the wonders of ChatGPT, I'm trying to put it to use, rather than coming up with recipes or something like that.
Right.
What I'm doing is downloading every single episode. Then I have to use a piece of software that I then send the MP3 file into the software, which will transcribe it and timestamp it. And then what I can do is I could download that as a TXT file, stick it into ChatGPT, and it will give me a full summary of every single episode, and it will timestamp everything. So the point being is, once I've finished doing all this, I want to be able
to put all the Lagavulin stories together.
I could just say I want every single story associated with it. But what it's doing as well is I'm saying, can you collate every single person's what 3 drams? Because it's in the book, right? But there's no actual, so it's like what I can say is, and then I don't know how I'll manage to do it. But I'll say, I'll be able to say, if you find if I could put it online somewhere, and you find Lagavulin 16. You can see how many other people have had their what 3 drams as Lagavulin 16 in some of the stories. And I bet you a penny to the pound, the majority of those stories will be, it was my gateway whiskey. It was a whiskey that got me started.
It was the first whiskey I ever had.
Is that right? Oh. But now you don't like peated whiskey.
I used to say I liked Lagavulin 16 because I wanted to like whiskey.
You want to be cool.
So I want to have that with my dad. I want to have that conversation. And so I had Lagavulin 16. I said, oh yeah, that's great. But I think I used to pretty much hold my nose and drink it.
I'm going to appeal to your Scottishness here, okay? As an American, I'm going to appeal to your Scottishness. Peated whiskey is so much a part of your tradition because the British Navy came in and absolutely, deforested this country for their warships back in the early 1800s. That's what I'm saying. I let you say that. I don't say that.
Kept the wheels away from the door.
So,
Didn't have our navy.
So that was the fuel source. That's how they dried their barley.
And
You know?
that's meant we've got that.
So you're drinking tradition. You're drinking fuck the British, fuck the English.
And
right?
when I go to Islay, I love it. Once it's in, I love it.
I gotta say, watching your bevy videos with Laurie, you know,
No, we're not meant to mention.
you know, I'm amazed because you always talk about not liking peated whiskey, but you have great subtle tasting notes on those.
The thing with smoky whiskey is now I've been able to get beyond the peat.
Yeah.
And so I understand it better. Whereas I was 5 years into working in whiskey.
He's just like me, and he's really good at pretending.
And but 2% of the whiskey I drank was peated. So my palate was just so immature to it.
Yeah.
Great first story. What's the second dram, Scott?
So the first time I came to Scotland was 2.5 years ago with my current wife, and I should explain to my friends who are watching or listening for the first time. Current wife is a running gag on this show.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Is how we all describe our spouses.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it has nothing to do with any kind of permanency of said relationships.
Well,
Speak for yourself, Angus.
Newly married Angus here. All three of us have been married in the last 2.5 years.
Anyway, so my current wife and I came.
my current wife did threaten me with divorce this morning because she thought I'd put an empty packet of batteries back in a drawer.
Divorce worthy.
I would divorce you
She
too.
was like, my fucking mouse isn't working and you put an empty packet of batteries back in a drawer. I was like, no. There are batteries. They fell down the back of the drawer.
Divorce.
Yeah.
And the
I'm on her side, by the way.
the divorce was then later rescinded because she found a battery for it.
Good.
Everything
So
is
second
okay at
dram,
home.
we came 2.5 years ago. And the reason we came, I had a kidney transplant, now 7.5 years ago, but it was 5 years before that trip. And the doctor, I had a disease called IgA nephropathy. It's an autoimmune disease that affects the kidneys. And the doctors had said, if you don't get a transplant, you'll be dead within 5 years. And I had a friend who I met on the golf course, Dustin Lehman, shout out,
Sure, Dustin.
who was an amazing match for me, and he gave me a kidney.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Incredible,
Yeah.
Wow.
right?
How much did you beat him on the golf course?
He doesn't have to putt anything anymore, right?
You see if I beat you in
he
this round.
gets on the green. That's good. So,
What an amazing thing to give
but
a friend.
what a great friend. But anyway, so for the 5th year anniversary, when I'm supposed to be dead, right? We were talking about what to do to celebrate. And I was like, well, I really like whiskey and I really like golf. So, Scotland, right? And so that's what we did. Started St. Andrews. I got on the old course because I wrote them a sob story about my kidney. And hey, I won the ballot. It was great.
Should have taken a camera and some mics.
But anyway,
That's
so
awesome.
but then we went to Islay. We were on Islay for a week, and amazing. Even though they don't have sushi,
A week's too long on Islay.
no, I could.
sushi. But
I swear to God, it was amazing, and not just for the whiskey, the people, and just the serenity of it all. But on the actual day of the anniversary, I had 2 tours that I scheduled. Morning was Bruichladdich, the afternoon was Lagavulin. And so I'm doing the warehouse tasting at Bruichladdich in the morning, and they started with a Bruichladdich all from the cask, a Bruichladdich Port Charlotte Octomore. The Octomore was a 7.3. Now Octomores are usually aged for 5 years. This had been in the cask another 7 years. So it was a 12-year-old Octomore 7.3.
At the time, the oldest Octomore whatever, I think.
This is like, and I think it was still from Jim
Yeah.
McEwen's
Cool.
era. So, and I just remember they poured it in the glass, and the tears on this thing, it's like they poured maple syrup in this glass, and I'm going to get choked up. I just remember sitting there thinking, I'm alive, and I'm drinking this whiskey,
Yeah.
And it was just,
Brilliant.
it was amazing.
What a life. That's it. And you're drinking something that nobody else will have tasted it in that state.
100%.
It's and that's an Octomore that was bottled previously that they've kept stuff for. You're in a warehouse. You're on Islay. You're
Right.
drinking whiskey, which has become an important part of your person as well.
Right.
And that can be an important part of your story. Just tell me, the friend that gave you the kidney, is he a whiskey fan?
He's a whiskey fan. He likes Jameson, that kind of stuff.
Nobody's perfect.
It's all good. Hey, listen,
And
we
how-
recovered from the surgery in my living room,
yeah.
and I remember calling my doctor. I hadn't had alcohol for a few years when I had I just wanted to kind of cleanse everything. And I called my doctor after surgery. I'm like, I can have whiskey now, right? He goes, oh, yeah, you can totally handle that, you know? So I got a lot of stuff delivered, you know? And I'm sitting here with my Lagavulin, and he's sitting there with his Jameson, you know? So whatever.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
What a great story,
Fantastic.
honestly. And,
Yeah.
It's like
and
cask-
our listeners really go up when someone chokes up on their...
But just for context, you're going to put Octomore 7.3 there.
That's the first time.
That's not Octomore 7.3. That was Octomore 7.3 that wasn't bottled as
Yeah, it's
Octomore
12-year-old. It's
That's
12,
right.
12
It
year
was
old.
it
Cask.
left in the cask.
Yeah.
For
And I
another
think
5
there's
years.
almost like an unknown thing with this. What are
100%.
they going to do with these old Octomores?
Yeah. No,
So-
fantastic.
That's
It's,
an
no,
awesome,
Great.
awesome
No,
story.
and thank you for sharing that.
Are we going to
It's-
get 3 Islas
it's
here?
great here.
Third and final
I
story.
know, you know, I was trying to be more well-rounded with my structuring there.
You
But,
like what you like.
but I have to go to my last, and I already told about this today, was standing in that warehouse last week with, you know, 5 of my new best friends, total whiskey geeks, staying up until all hours of the night. You know, we sampled whiskey all day and at Springbank and Glengyle and Glen Scotia, and then at night everybody brought bottles down that they had brought to share and talk
But
about
nothing
whiskey.
beat the Glen Elgin.
The Glen Elgin from Spirit Drink from Woodrow's of Edinburgh. Now available on the Woodrow's website. But yeah, standing in that dunnage warehouse at Springbank, having a 32-year-old Springbank with people with whom I had bonded, with people. We just stood there in silence, and it was just such a beautiful. I mean, that's what
what a
whiskey's
special
about, right?
opportunity.
Is spirit is.
Imagine having that situation with people who were all probably feeling the same thing you did. as well.
That's exactly right. You know, it's like if I'd had that by myself in a pub, I'm sitting there, I'm like, have you guys tried that? And nobody, it would be like, people would think I'm a total dork. But I was other dorks, you know? That's
It's a
that's
shared
what's
experience.
beautiful.
That's part of the thing. It's a shared experience. And, I
And
think-
also, there's something very, very special about getting whiskey straight from the cask.
But I would say you're right.
Lads, we are spoiled arses.
I know.
Scotch
We
come
really
from
are.
Tennessee.
I know. But I would say,
Nobody's heard of Springbank in
you're
Tennessee.
Right, you're right, Angus, in the sense that it's coming straight from the cask and things like that. But I bet you the guy that works in the warehouse every single day doesn't get the same feeling of when you're in it. Because whenever we've had whiskey straight from the cask, we've been in each other's company or
true.
been in the company of other people.
That's true.
And there's a moment where you go, Jesus Christ.
look at each
like,
other and
this
you go,
is,
"Ooh,
and
yeah."
like you said, Scott, probably everyone's just at that stage, 32-year-old Springbank out of the distillery, out of the warehouse. You're probably all sitting there quiet because you're going, just everyone's taking it in.
But there's also that special moment when you're at tasting and you've got a mate across the room and you both drink a dram and you go, holy fucking shit. And you both look up and you point at each other and you go, this. And the other guy goes, fucking this.
That's right. That's right.
Have you,
It's
have
like
you
a
ever done
romantic.
that? Looked at someone and gone this, and the other girl is going,
shut up.
not really.
But it is as much about the company as about the whiskey.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my point, you know. And that's I got to tell you, that's a beautiful thing about this podcast is stories, whiskey stories, right? I mean, I met. I met Dougie Little up here this morning when the place opened, you know,
Brilliant.
and
Was he just getting up?
it was. I mean, I couldn't believe it. This guy's.
The lads he'll go to sell a couple of boxes of whiskey. Eh?
Yeah, I
But
thought he was going to
you're
big sell
right,
with it.
it's-
But I mean, we're sitting there, we were talking about this podcast. How you know, I love you guys, but I'm promiscuous about my whiskey podcast. You know, if somebody's talking about whiskey, I'm going to listen, right? But this is the only one that has a community like we have, and just the connections that we all make. And as I've said already today, I feel like I've grown up with you guys as far as my whiskey knowledge, you know, and it's just been wonderful.
It bothers me how much this whiskey podcast has affected me and my thinking about whiskey. I enjoy drinking smoky whiskey with Angus more than any other person I've ever met.
Thank you very
That's weird. That's strange to me because I think for the first 8 months of the podcast,
That's so generous of you there, Graeme.
whenever,
Thank you.
Whenever Angus had a peaty whiskey, I genuinely would rely on his opinion because, I mean, who the fuck's Angus?
It's a good point.
Who
It
the fuck's
is a
Angus?
fair
But
point.
see, listen to him speak about Kilhoman and stuff like that.
yeah.
I want to love Kilhoman, but I want to understand it, and so that was
Go
what's so
to-
fun. Graham's fun.
have you
Graham's
been to the
Graham's
distillery?
a fucking.
Have you been to the
But
distillery at
Graham's the
Kilhoman?
best. When he drinks whiskey, he likes everything.
But we're
Pretty much,
we're learning.
But he used to have all these preconceived notes. It has to be Scottish, has to be single malt, blah blah blah. You're drinking a fucking highball in a distillery in Edinburgh this week.
Yeah.
That's just
we like this is what's great for us, and it honestly.
And it's why you've added so much to it.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like when we started this, we did say we don't know where it's going to go, but what we did say was like, imagine if we didn't imagine this, right? We didn't imagine that we would be gearing up to have a recording with a guy who's travelled all the way from America. For that, and whilst we're doing that, we're walking in, and a German guy stops us and goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! I'm with. I see the Whisky Stories Podcast. I'm not being. This is sounding very self-indulgent." But the bottom line is, never in my wildest dreams did I think that we would have a Glenelgan Spirit drink for 13 years.
65 pounds.
There's only 65 pounds. But listen, guys,
Isn't it good?
we've got to get ourselves away because we've been down here. But listen, thank you
Please
very
join
much,
the
Scott.
Facebook group.
Yeah, join the Facebook group. It's been fantastic. Scott, this is where it's all come from. You know, Scott, listening to the podcast, jumping on the Facebook group, deciding to come all the way over to Scotland, and now he's sitting in the Digger's Dungeon with us, having a dram and having a chat, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Scott, thank you so much for coming over and seeing us. I hope you have I hope you had a great time. I hope you have a safe journey back up the road, as we would say. It's been absolutely fantastic. We've done it again, lads. Hey, cheers, all the very best. Slanjava.
Slanjava.
Cheers, Scott.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Great.
Cheers.
Great to see you.
Best.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
brilliant.
This is great.
Actually, I'm glad I